Gabe Neitzel of ESPN Wisconsin will join us coming up at 7:25 to talk about the Green Bay perspective on tonight's big matchup. This update is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. Tullamore Dew, when it's game time, it's Tully time. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Attention, Delaware Valley.
97.5 The Fanatics Unfiltered with Ricky Bowe and Bill Colarulo are looking for the best high school athletes in the area.
Each week, we want you to nominate a local high school athlete that you think deserves recognition for their performance on the field, on the court, or on the ice.
Head to 975thefanatic.com/unfiltered and let us know who you think earned the recognition.
Sponsored by BCSHR. Payroll you can trust.
Hey everybody, it's Bill Colarulo, and the FanDuel Sportsbook app in partnership with Valley Forge is your home for all your favorite NFL bets. From yards to touchdowns to who will win, with FanDuel, any play can be the play of the game. Tonight, FanDuel has given all customers a 30% profit boost token. That's right, you can get in on the action with a 30% profit boost token for tonight's game. Eagles and Packers. I'm going with a Hurts anytime touchdown. Give me the Birds plus 2.5. Put them together, improve your payout. Make FanDuel your go-to app for any snap. Visit FanDuel.com/winning. That's FanDuel.com/winning. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL.
21 plus and present in Pennsylvania. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Taxes was feeling unwelcome. Now Taxes is an open door, literally, to new TurboTax stores. Meet our experts in person.
Hi, welcome in.
They're powered by Smart Tech and ready to do your taxes for you. Get real-time updates while you go about your day. Confident your taxes are done right. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. TurboTax stores opening soon. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile app.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Are you getting ready for a home improvement cleanup? Maybe the garage, the bathroom, the big move. Well, here's the perfect solution, the Bagster. Yeah, the Bagster is by far and away the most convenient and affordable way to help you with your cleanup. The Bagster's great. It's a 3 cubic yard dumpster in a bag. Sold at Home Depot, Lowe's, and local home improvement stores. And for only $29.99. Go buy it, fill it, and then simply schedule your collection, and it's gone. Clean up with the Bagster, the dumpster in a bag.
So tell us a little bit more about the Morgan & Morgan law practice.
We sitting here talking about law practice? It's not a game. Not a game. With over 900 lawyers nationwide and $15 billion recovered, we got full court domination.
No more questions.
Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Proud sponsor of the Philadelphia 76ers. Offices, Philadelphia.
Kincade and Salciunas.
Today's talk show, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Future apologies to 97.5 The Fanatic and our YouTube feed or rights.
What are you apologizing for?
I don't know. I figured out how to turn it on. Haley, our own Haley Taylor Simon, who runs our YouTube feed, she is in Green Bay. She's in Wisconsin for the Eagles-Packers game tonight with Philly Sports Strips. So they made the trip, she and her father, which is really cool.
Is she going to be pissed when she finds out?
Somebody's supposed to be here to do
She is going to be.
YouTube.
When she finds out that we weren't on right away, she's going to be pissed.
So during the last couple of commercial breaks, I pushed a lot of buttons and figured out how to turn the stream on. Now, here's the only problem. I don't know how to turn it off. So we are going to go to commercial, and you will just stare at us like we're animals in a zoo. And we'll just sit here and hang out. So if you're normally a YouTube viewer of the Kincade and Salciunas. Well, we're up and running. Join us here on this game day football Monday before the Eagles take on the Packers. And if you like to watch us be weirdos during the commercial break or just stare into the ether, you can do that as well, because we will do that, because I don't know how to turn it off, and I could get us in trouble at some point.
No, you can't, because honestly, you're doing someone else's job, so it's okay.
Ridiculous.
You can do that.
Man. Come on.
It's unbelievable.
All right. Anyways, we'll get back to our text messages momentarily. But if you're just tuning in, and if you're normally a YouTube viewer and haven't heard our topics yet, it is a Chest Day Monday. By the way, my wife never listens to the show.
So
ever.
she never listens. So she's like my wife.
She texted me this morning.
What?
Basically saying, you sound like a douche today.
Why is that?
Because we're using the gym references.
Oh, you using the yeah.
It's a Chest Day Monday,
Coach
man.
Carter.
I feel good about the Eagles, so I'm a little chesty tunas today.
Does she realize that this is a thing that you use?
No, she doesn't support my
so she
career.
doesn't listen. That's good.
So
our wives are a little lost on that, but it's all right.
Last week, I told you that I was going to be very confident for this game, and I still feel it. I still feel confident that the Eagles handle their business in Green Bay. Nick Sirianni undefeated in his career following a bye week. And not only following a bye week, the next 2 games following a bye week, he's been undefeated. Nick Sirianni and the self-scouting that he talks about all the time clearly works. And it also works not just because of X's and O's. It also works for the coaches to figure out who should be on the field when. Remember, last year, the big change on defense, now part of it was health, but was going to Cooper DeJean in the slot. And we know how much that bettered the defense. They had self-scouting week to be able to sit down, look around, and say, where do we need to make a trade to improve? And they circled edge rusher more so than cornerback, and they made the addition of Jalen Phillips, trading the 3rd-round pick to the Miami Dolphins. So, Johnny, I think he makes an impact right away tonight for 2 reasons. I'll just give you the vibes, and then you are going to give the statistics.
You're giving the vibes.
Here's why.
Okay.
He left a horrible situation. Right?
He did.
And so, and he still played well, but he leaves a horrible situation. I'm going to guarantee something right now. Jalen Phillips.
By the way, they're 2-0 since he left.
I'm
just saying.
Jalen Phillips.
It's been terrible.
I believe will get a sack tonight.
Ooh.
But I also believe he will probably pick up a personal foul or something because he's going to be overly amped up. And you know what? I'm okay with it for today because he's found new life. He's rejuvenated, leaving a horrible situation in Miami and coming to a team that is 6-2 and the defending Super Bowl champions. So I think just vibes alone, Jalen Phillips from the human element will have an impact game today. But I want you to tell us why he can get to Jordan Love, Johnny, because you sent me an interesting statistic from Dan Orlovsky yesterday as you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN, HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, 8 Beasley, Media Group Station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibility.
Okay, the most pressured quarterback in the NFL is Jordan Love. So that tells you how bad this offensive line has been for Green Bay as far as pass protection. They have not done a good job for him. This is an incredible opportunity tonight. You think of 32 quarterbacks. And when I hear people say, Jordan Love, I don't know how elite he is. Think about his weaponry. And then think about the fact that unlike guys like Josh Allen and others, he is the most pressured quarterback in the NFL. To me, there's the golden opportunity. If the Eagles don't get home tonight, if the Eagles don't create that kind of pressure, I'm going to worry big time. I mean, I'm going to absolutely be concerned. So to me, that's where it is. This team has had real problems.
By the way, if you're a quarterback under pressure, who do you like to normally get the ball to?
Tight end.
Tucker Kraft, done for the season.
Quarterback's best friend, right?
Yeah. Tucker Kraft this year, before last week, because he exited the game early, having just 2 catches for 20 yards against the Panthers. 7 for 143 and 2 touchdowns against the Steelers. 5 for 58 and a touchdown against the Cardinals. Just 2 for 43, but a touchdown against the Bengals. 5 for 56, 3 for 29, 6 for 124, and a touchdown against the Commanders.
So in other words, consistently, he is the guy that he feels comfortable.
That Jordan Love targets, man. He's
so
been
who
there.
does he go to tonight?
They got what Musgrave, Casey Musgrave.
She's a great
country singer. Yeah,
but is he going to feel comfortable with anybody the way he felt with him? No. Not the way Kraft has been. Kraft has been like it reminded me almost watching some of the stuff in the 15-minute games. I went back and watched some of the 15-minute games on NFL Plus. It almost reminded me of early in his career Carson Wentz.
What, to Ertz?
With Zach Ertz.
Fine his
and
movie?
how, almost staring him down at times.
Sure.
Yeah. And to me, look, that can be a good thing or a bad thing for an offense. To me, I don't see that it's a good thing when a guy you're that reliant on is gone, because where are you going to get that chemistry that quickly?
Right. Now, one thing to point out, Christian Watson might make his season debut. He had an ACL tear last year.
And he can stretch the field.
He can. Now, I will also say this. I don't know who Christian Watson is, the person. I've never spoken to him a day in my life, right? Is Christian Watson going to go out there 110 miles per hour? Or is he worried about that first hit? That's scary, right? Coming off an injury like that.
Imagine it'd be brutal.
Do the Packers only use him to go downfield constantly? Do
you
they
mean
not?
like he's the decoy to stretch the field?
Yeah,
Could
right.
be. They not having him has caused their offense to be bunched.
Yes.
And has caused Jordan Love. When he left the field, Jordan Love's average pass downfield dropped 4 and 5 yards.
Wow.
It was he was the pass attempts. Their offense has honestly been playing in a phone booth, and that's got to change.
So maybe Christian Watson coming back helps out the Green Bay Packers, but it's only game one.
Exactly.
So we'll see. All right, let's check our text line, Connor, at 610-632-0975. How much of an emphasis are you putting on these next two games, tonight against the Green Bay Packers, next Sunday night against the Detroit Lions, two marquee matchups? I loved our first text that said, look, I look more so at the Bucs-Rams games because Baker Mayfield and Matthew Stafford scare me more than Jordan Love and Jared Goff, and they won both of those games. So I like the confidence from our first texter. What do we got?
This texter checks in, says Jordan Love and Dak Prescott remind me of the same type of quarterback, one that can win in the regular season, but when the games matter most in close games, not clutch. That is why in a 6-point game in the playoffs, Jordan Love comes up short a majority of the time, and that's why he doesn't scare me in the playoffs.
Now, in fairness, he lost everybody last year, right?
Exactly. And he's playing. He lost. He went into the game. He was 6 points down in a playoff game at Philadelphia with 3 wide receivers out.
Yeah, they were dropping.
There's so
flies.
much revisionist history on this Packers game that it's people are like, yeah, the Eagles won, man. They really put it on the Packers. The Packers had 3 wide receivers out.
Yeah, but some of us never thought they were going to lose.
Yeah, I don't think it's revisionist.
Well, that's really good. Because if you took A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Jahan Dotson, all 3 of them were missing for a playoff game. I don't know how confident you'd be that, they should, that Jordan Love should go win that game. Jalen Hurts should go win that game. Nobody would be saying that. Okay. You would never say that.
Yeah, I think it would be revisionist for you to have that take because in the moment you felt like it was a closer game. Like I was more where Andy was, where I felt like that game was over.
Well, the thing is, you can feel anything you want. It was a 6-point game. I don't care what your feelings were.
Well, John, things are more than just the numbers on the scoreboard. You can get a feel for a game, and that never felt like a game that the Eagles were going to lose.
And they could, though, with one fumble, Jalen Hurts puts one off his knee, like in the Super Bowl, which cost them a championship. Things like that happen in games, and when it's a 6-point game, it can happen.
But we've seen touchdown games that feel like they're a 40-point deficit. And we've seen 20-point deficits that feel like, hey, you're in this game. It's a different feel depending on the flow of the game, and the Packers never had it.
But when you are in a 6-point game with a team that has its top 3 wide receivers out at home with 6 minutes to go, you don't spin it as, yeah, man, they had that game in hand. No, they didn't. That was a game you should have been dominating that team. That's a game you should have dominated them. They had nobody to throw the ball to. And they didn't. They didn't pull away from them. They didn't put them down. And that's one of the things that does concern me is because I've seen Jordan Love manage to keep a game close against the Birds when he had nobody to throw to. Tonight he's at least got a couple of his top options that he can potentially throw to. Not his tight end, though.
I found the tweet, by the way, that I put out at halftime that drove people insane. I put this out at halftime of the Eagles-Packers playoff game. The Packers offense will not all of a sudden figure out the Eagles defense. This game is over, in my opinion. I think we all love to see the Eagles offense look much better in the second half for our sanity moving forward. I thought the game was over. 6:06 p.m. And, man, reading some of these replies,
I mean, you could think it. It's great. It's great. That turned out in your favor. Yes, you thought it, and it happened. But feelings don't.
Some of these replies.
Feelings don't mean a damn thing to me watching football games. Well, my feeling is they're going to win. Well, that's great.
Man, some horrible things were sent my way. And people,
nasty?
Oh, yeah.
No, people are never nasty on social media.
Oh, my God, especially toward radio people.
I agree with you, but the halftime prediction of a playoff game, you kind of deserve
Chesty.
That's too much.
As I am this morning, leading up to the Eagles-Packers game on Monday Night Football. All right, coming up next.
It's going to drive people nuts when next Sunday he's not Chesty. It's going to drive people nuts. They're going to be so mad at you for that.
Spoiler alert, you're not wrong.
They're going to be so mad at you for that.
Can the Eagles defense do to the Packers offense what a lot of teams have been doing to the Eagles this season? I'll explain more coming up next. We'll check our text line as well. It is Kincade and Salciunas, and have fun watching us on YouTube because I don't know how to turn it off here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hey, I love having a Bradford White water heater at work for me, and they can work for you too because they are consistent. You can stay comfortable. You can be content that you've got all the hot water you ever need. Now, Monday mornings, well, that hot shower is absolutely essential to get the week started. And Bradford White water heaters, super reliable, top performance year after year, just like people around here expect because they're a local company that understands you, and they're built to be the best with the finest components from around the world. So if your current water heater isn't getting the job done, how about checking out one of their tankless models or their Aerotherm hybrid heat pump models? These things are so sleek and so much smaller than the traditional hot water heater that you've used in the past. Look, visit BradfordWhite.com. Get in touch with a plumbing professional near you. They'll bring it to you. They'll put the perfect one in place, and they'll install it for peak efficiency. Because how you heat your water, it does matter. So find out from my friends at Bradford White. Go to BradfordWhite.com.
Unfiltered with Ricky Bo, Bill Colarulo, and Silvana Kelleher.
Real sports talk you can trust.
No rage bait, no fluff, just honest and objective conversation for the greatest sports city in the world. Tune in every weekday from 2 to 6 p.m. right here on 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-529-2856. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 to 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-529-2856. That's 800-529-2856 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-529-2856. 800-529-2856.
The holidays are here, full of joy, family, friends, and yes, a little hustle and bustle. That's why you need Aleve. Between cooking, shopping, and all those extra errands, aches and pains can sneak in. Aleve is here to help with long-lasting body pain relief. Don't let body pain slow you down. With up to 12 hours of body pain relief per dose, you can keep up with the season's magic and all that awaits. Pick up Aleve and get back to what really matters, making memories. Use as directed.
We know exactly what you're not thinking about right now. Wiper blades. But now that you are, take a moment to think about how Rain-X is the #1 brand of wiper blades in America. Why? Because Rain-X thinks about wiper blades all the time. We obsess, so you don't have to. Simply install our blades and then think about literally anything else. So choose Rain-X, America's #1 wiper blades, and then go back to not thinking about wiper blades. Rain-X. Outsmart the elements.
If you agree or disagree with one of our hosts, text us at 610-632-0975.
If you have a solid point you want to make but don't want to call, text us at 610-632-0975. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com. This isn't your great-grandpa's sports talk show. This is today's talk show.
Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
7 a.m. hours brought to you by the BetParks online casino and sportsbook app. Live bet sports on the BetParks app. Play all your favorite casino games. There's always another way to win on the BetParks online casino and sportsbook. Got to be 21 in Pennsylvania, Jersey, or Maryland. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I guess the beauty of not going to commercial on YouTube is John Kincade trying to shoot his paper into the trash, and I just Dikembe Mutombo.
You just did no.
Crap at him.
You look like a Dembona in there.
Damn right. I go Dikembe before Dembona.
Yeah, let's
All
do
due
that.
respect
Let's
to
do that,
Dembona,
please.
and rest in peace Dikembe. Come on, man.
Come on, Deke.
Don't disrespect Dikembe Mutombo.
It's not disrespect.
Yeah.
Just
those
talking about the guy
those
that's
two don't
currently
deserve
playing.
anything. Those two can't be in the same sentence.
One guy's a Hall of Famer, one guy isn't.
I'm not saying they're
You know.
I mean, you can't do that.
I think about the present a lot more than I think about the past.
Yeah, think about guys in the present that are comparable, though.
Yeah.
Give him the proper. Give Deke the proper respect.
Yeah, you got to respect. Yeah, that's all right.
That's a bad one. But Dembona, let's hope it continues.
You have your
last night
moments.
wasn't great.
You have your moments.
Wasn't a great night last.
All right. Tonight, can the Eagles' defense do something that a lot of defenses have done against the Eagles' offense this year? Do you just stack the box a lot against Josh Jacobs? I understand that Jordan Love will drop back to throw the football a lot. But again, with the weapons around him, I didn't even realize Christian Watson's been back for 2 weeks. Christian Watson
Yeah,
playing
but he has not been
himself.
back.
No. But, you know, between Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs and Dontavian Wicks, like, if you're Vic Fangio, who's the number one person you're trying to stop before anybody else? It's Josh Jacobs, right? Like, that is your number one. We do not want that man to beat us. Now, the one thing that worries me about stacking the box against the Green Bay, and I'm not saying like all 8 guys, is that Matt LaFleur is a creative play caller. Has it totally worked for them to a Super Bowl? Obviously not a Super Bowl. We'll see.
I don't want to stack the box. I do not. I want them to play it straight up for a while.
Straight up.
Because I have
4 down linemen.
Because I have felt, first of all, knowing that that other teams have had just such great success being able to pressure their front. And by the way, with 4-man fronts, just being able to send 4 and be able to have success. That's what I'd like them to do tonight. I'd like this to play this straight up for a little bit and see what they can do. And with Nakobe Dean playing the way he's been, and I'm going to let it. I'm not going to sell out to say Josh Jacobs, and I'm going to see how they handle Josh Jacobs, and I think that they can do that. I think they can play him strong. Is it going to be a great matchup? Who knows?
Oh, his over-under, because I'm curious and
is what?
And looking at it, is only like 60-some yards tonight.
Okay, that surprises me.
And I wonder if it's maybe because of Tucker Kraft, the Eagles can maybe have an easier time stopping.
Okay,
the run.
that number's a really weird number.
Here you go. It is. It's moved up, but it's 69.5. It's not even 70 yards.
I even think that number is wild.
My first thought is like one of those 25 for 80 grinded out kind of days for Josh Jacobs.
That's what
considering they're missing Tucker Kraft.
Yeah, I find that number really like positive for the Eagles.
Yeah,
like there's something there. So that's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good
take
number.
You over though. What do we got on the text line?
So we have Big Leo checking in, who's calling John Kincade Cheesehead Johnny today with how much he's worried about the Packers. John, your response?
Do you have a number? Can you go back and look at his texts on the text line?
Sure.
Can you see a text? I want to know what he thought when I told everybody 4-0 was more likely than 2-2 in September. I want to know how chesty he was then, if you can see it. Or if he decides to be honest and text back.
But those first 4 weeks, you were Eagle Johnny. Today,
But
you're
Cheesehead No, I'm just telling you, it's flat out. And by the way, I've had a pretty good read on the NFL this year on games. I just don't like this. I don't like this setup. I don't like this matchup.
2-2 weekend's not that great, John.
A 65% in mid-November is great by any standard.
What else we got on the text line?
Big Leo did not check in when we were going through the
Okay, because I wondered about that because if
Maybe
Big Leo, guess what? Big Leo sounds like an honorable guy. Leo, tell me how chesty you were when I was telling you 4-0 in September. I want to know, because if you were, then that's fine. I think that a lot of people, it's a game-to-game thing, and I I don't like this matchup as much as I've liked some others.
What else we got?
We have a couple people checking in on this. We should address it, and we should address it again later. So Matt from Marlton checks in, and he's talking about the streaming setup, saying the execs of Google and Disney have 12 hours to get their acts together. I will be deleting streaming. If not, go Birds, because of the YouTube TV issue.
Yeah, it's
with
not
Monday
getting
Night
fixed
Football.
today, by the
No,
way.
it's not, and it's a shame. So I'm a Hulu has live sports guy. So I don't have that issue, but I understand that there are a lot of people that have YouTube TV. So you're going to have to either go out, or if you are a subscriber to cable still, it will be on Channel 6. Like all Monday night games locally will be. So you could still watch it on Channel 6. What are you going to do? Because you're a YouTube guy, right?
No, we did the free Hulu.
Smart.
Because they had to see General Hospital.
Well, of course, yeah, you can't miss
Come
that.
on, we couldn't miss
So what, you're
GH.
doing the 30 days of free
Yeah, get
Hulu
the
and just hoping that YouTube figures it out?
No, because they're going to figure it out. Because, by the way, don't dig what I'm enjoying, like watching it. I'm not. The picture quality is not as good as YouTube. It's not as good as YouTube, even close. So the picture quality is definitely off. So, and if you have a good TV and you pay to have a good TV, you want a good picture.
I got you.
So hopefully it'll be fine. They'll get this thing fixed soon. It's not going to be fixed today. So there's nothing that's going to come down before the Eagles game to get this thing saved.
Can I tell you, I've never noticed the picture quality difference.
Nope.
Have you watched the two?
Yes.
It's not the same on live.
I've never noticed.
You should watch because live TV.
I do. Is what I'm saying.
I'm saying is you can see it because it's a quality of picture issue for Hulu. Not as good. So hopefully get it fixed. Want to see it in a good quality tonight.
Mr. M&M's. What else we got on the text line?
Sean checks in and says these two teams, talking about the Packers and the Lions, the Eagles' next two games, are who everyone expects to be in the way of potentially repeating this year. I put a lot of emphasis on these two matchups, but regular season and playoffs are two totally different animals.
Okay, well, the animals, you're going to need home games.
Yeah.
Remember, the Eagles have gone to the Super Bowl 2 of the last 3 years. They have not played a road playoff game.
Yeah, you want them at home.
Play a road playoff game. We've seen Nick Sirianni's team look really bad twice, horrendous in both of them. So we don't want to. Everything changes. This team, if this team doesn't have home field advantage, I feel much differently about their chances.
That's why these next two games are important, which is why we're asking the question: how much of an emphasis are you putting on these next two games? Because the Philadelphia Eagles have some really tough tests tonight against the Packers, despite how good I feel, and then of course next week against the Detroit Lions. So coming up next. Who are the Green Bay Packers, right? We know all the flaws of the Philadelphia Eagles because we watch every single snap. Well, what about somebody that watches every single snap of the Packers? My buddy from ESPN, Gabe Neitzel, joins the show next. It is Kincade and Salciunas here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
I know that when you visit Benari Jewelers, you're going to have amazing experiences every single time, whether you visit them in Exton or Newtown Square, or you check them out online at BenariJewelers.com. But I don't want you buying jewelry online. I want you to peruse online and then go visit them. Because once you enter into a Benari Jewelers site, you're going to realize that they've got all the top bridal designers. So they've got Tacorian, A. Jaffe, Benchmark, and so many more. But they're going to get you those one-of-a-kind rings that you're not going to be able to get anywhere else. They're going to handcraft you an engagement ring that's going to absolutely be beautiful. I know our man Brendan Gunn did exactly that. Plus, they're going to give you the industry-leading 110% diamond upgrade guarantee, meaning when you buy a diamond from Benari Jeweler, you always are going to know you're never going to lose value. And you're going to have gained 10% value when you're ready to upgrade. Benari is a direct diamond importer. You're going to get the diamond she wants and deserves at the price that stays within your budget. Ordinary ain't going to cut it, guys. Everything at Benari, just extraordinary. Check out Newtown Square, check out Exton, and check them out. Benari Jewelers, they're the best.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
The Birds are finally back. I'm Connor Thomas, and doesn't it feel like it's been a minute since we saw this team play football? Well, it's officially game day for the Eagles as they're set to take on the Green Bay Packers up at Lambeau on Monday Night Football. Kickoff is at 8:15 p.m. this evening. The Eagles will unfortunately be without Cam Jurgens, who is out tonight with a knee injury, and new Eagle Jair Alexander, who was acquired at the trade deadline, also did not travel to Green Bay, a coach's decision, so he could continue his knee recovery. Nick Sirianni met with media Saturday, and he talked about the respect that he has for Jordan Love and the Packers.
A lot of respect for Jordan. I think he's a really good quarterback who's made a lot of plays and won a lot of games. Coach Flores won a ton of games, with different quarterbacks. And so, yeah, a lot of respect for how he runs the offense.
We'll be getting you ready for the major matchup all day here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Sixers lost to the Pistons last night, 111-108, despite a 33-point effort from Tyrese Maxey. Cade Cunningham had 26 points to lead the Detroit offense. They're off tonight. They'll face the Celtics on Tuesday. Flyers lost to the Senators on Saturday in overtime. They're off until Wednesday night. We're going to talk to Gabe Neitzel of ESPN Wisconsin coming up next for the Green Bay perspective on tonight's big game. This update is brought to you by Groundworks, your trained and certified experts for basement waterproofing and foundation repair since 1997. Book your free inspection at groundworks.com. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Every game day right before the Birds take the field, check out the Birds Insider pregame show, breaking down every game before it happens. Then, as soon as the clock hits 0, tune into the Birds Insider postgame show as we analyze everything that happened on the field. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Drexel basketball is back and bringing the heat with Big 5 rivalries and national matchups all season long. Hey there, it's Matt Cord, and register to win a chance to join me for Big 5 basketball as the Drexel Dragons take on Penn at the Daskalakis Athletic Center on Friday, November 21st. Register to win sweet tickets and some of the best seats in the house to experience all the Division I hoops action and hear me announce the starting lineups. Be part of the excitement of Division I men's basketball at one of Philadelphia's most intimate sports venues as Drexel takes on Penn Friday, November 21st. Listen to 97.5 The Fanatic for your chance to win, or visit 97.5thefanatic.com for an online entry form. The season's just getting started with the Battle of 33rd Street between Drexel and Penn. The women's teams meet up on November 12th at 6 p.m. and join me on November 21st, 7 p.m. for the men's game. Single game tickets are just $25. Get your tickets now at drexel.edu/Dragon Tickets.
Pros don't just show up. They prove how it's done with precision and without shortcuts. Makita tools are built the same way, with a dedication to lasting quality, trusted performance, and results that reward your effort year after year. When the job calls for the best, call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Kohl's has 20% off gifts that are so good, your family might think you read their minds. Check off your list now with cozy, thoughtful, and stylish gifts that will make them say, "How did you know?" Yep, with these presents from Kohl's, you're gonna leave them feeling impressed and convinced that you're a psychic. Shop Kohl's for an extra 20% off gifts that are the perfect fit. Select styles. Offer ends November 22nd. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohls.com for details.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. Enjoy personalized comfort for better sleep night after night. It's our Black Friday sale. Recharge this season with a bundle of cozy, soothing comfort. Now only $17.99 for our C2 mattress and base, plus free premium delivery. Prices higher in Alaska and Hawaii. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
JTV, Jewelry Television. With 80,000 jewelry looks, we're kind of a big deal. Even bigger with new lines of designer handbags, fragrances, and more. And biggest of all, because you could win a 7-night stay in Bali, spending money, and thousands worth of JTV jewelry, making you kind of a big deal. Enter by December 7th at jtv.com/sweepstakes. No purchase necessary. Then watch JTV on TV or shop jtv.com for big holiday deals.
This is Philadelphia's station for breaking sports news. Powered by Lundy Law, your injury lawyers. Visit LundyLaw.com.
That's LundyLaw.com.
97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com. Connor Thomas.
The voice of reason.
John Kincade.
The 60-year-old teenager.
Andrew Salciunas.
The 30-year-old senior citizen. Kincade and Salciunas. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
It is 7:25 here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. It's a football Monday, Johnny. It's a game day Monday. It's a chest day Monday here on 97.5 The Fanatic, presented to us by our friends at the local Brian Ho Comfort Team. Visit nopaybrian.com to keep your HVAC in the starting lineup. Now, I don't know if this segment will help or hurt you, John.
Well, I'm doing legs today, by the way, so it's not going to hurt me.
You not feeling as confident about tonight's game against the Green Bay Packers. So let's get some insight from a man who breaks down every single snap. He graces us with his voice on the national network of ESPN, Johnny. He and I have done a couple of shows together, but he also works full-time ESPN Milwaukee, talking all things Packers. Our man Gabe Neitzel joins us. Gabe, good morning, man. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing well. Wait, so John, you're not confident. I'm not confident in the Packers. This is going to be a wildly
well. Then this can help out. Then this works out beautifully.
I told him earlier in the show, Gabe, that you and I have talked about the Packers, and you feel wishy-washy about them. Somebody that runs my son's daycare is a Packers fan. She feels wishy-washy, actually, to the point of dread watching the Packers. So tell us who this team is, because we've seen some good games, but we've also seen the losses to the Browns and the Panthers.
The reason I feel wishy-washy is because they are wishy-washy, right? You think this team starts to figure some things out, get out to the great start, stub your toe against the Browns and Cleveland, have a pretty good emotional win on Sunday Night Football over the Steelers, come back at home where they had been pretty good this year, and you lose to the Carolina Panthers. Their play has been inconsistent, and I guess that's the big reason why nobody knows what to think of this Packers team. The problem with them, their best is as good as anybody's in the league. I think we've seen that when they are playing their best football. But we all know that's not the way the NFL works. You don't get to play your best football 17 consecutive weeks. So when they're not at their best, just the gap between what their best is and everything else is so large that it's tough to kind of get a feel for this team. And then on top of it, Josh Jacobs is their best offensive player, but Tucker Kraft was on his way to potentially being that. And this is an offense that needed kind of a number one target, somebody to run the passing game through. He had started to be that guy in the two previous weeks before Carolina, where he tore his ACL last week. He had 9 targets. He had 10 targets. He was somebody that the Packers were really getting involved. He was making things happen. And without him, they're going to have a lot of questions to answer, both in the running game and passing game, with no Tucker Kraft in the game tonight.
Gabe, one of the things I'm looking at is that sometimes, and Andrew and I have talked about this, we just talked about it last week on the show, sometimes I feel like when you're too close to something, maybe you look at it more critically than someone else does. You're very objective there on the Packers. I've looked at the Eagles this year as a very inconsistent team. That I don't know what I'm getting week to week, that I don't know that having to have 2 block kicks in the fourth quarter to come back miraculously and beat the Rams, to go out there and give up 34 to a terrible Giants team. Like, to me, I don't know what the Eagles are, and in this situation, I look at this as a game the Packers have probably circled since the schedule came out. Would you believe that?
Oh, absolutely, especially because this is the team that eliminated the Packers in the postseason a year ago. It's a team that they lost to kick off their season a year ago, and they are the defending champs. Now, I think the Eagles are a little bit different this year, and obviously Howie Roseman agrees with that because he was the most active general manager at the trade deadline, trying to desperately add pieces to this team. So, and there could be some of that to why the Packers overlooked Carolina, but again, the problem with the Packers is for the 3rd consecutive season, they're the youngest team in the league, and that's by design. It's what they want to be. They want to be a young team. Their general manager, Brian Gutekunst, believes it's a young man's game, and they just make too many young team mistakes. And I look at the Eagles. The Eagles are the 2nd youngest team in the league. They have made some of those mistakes this year, but they just find a way to win with all the different playmakers that they have. So I guess I look at what the Eagles have done this year. They're 6-2. The record's still good. I see some of the inconsistencies that you're talking about. But what about the defense for the Eagles? I mean, how have they been? Because that's the side of the ball that they obviously were looking to add to and did add to at the trade deadline.
Yeah, I mean, their biggest issue was pass rush because they have more sacks from players that have left the team this year in Zadarius Smith and Patrick Johnson than the players that are actually still on the active roster. Good. So it's a good thing that they acquired Jalen Phillips before the trade deadline. Gabe Neitzel from ESPN Wisconsin joins us. So you mentioned the loss of Tucker.
By the way, I'm so glad you guys also got to experience the Zadarius Smith experience. After experiencing it here in the state of Wisconsin, I'm just glad other people have gotten through that experience.
Look, and he was effective for like 2 weeks, and then he said, you know what? I changed my mind. I don't want to play anymore.
Very ineffective.
So, Gabe, with Tucker Kraft out, what does this offense look like? Because I know Matt LaFleur does not want to run the football 30 times, but you just have a bunch of guys at receiver, and who is Matthew Golden out tonight as well? Like, I don't know what the offensive game plan for Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers are after losing Kraft.
Yeah, I don't know what the plan is there either because, again, with Kraft, it affects both things. So last year they were a team. They pivoted after the Jordan Love injury, and they were a team that ran the ball more than they threw the ball. I'm with you. I think ultimately they want to be a pass-first team. But with Josh Jacobs, they were just so effective. They haven't been as effective running the football this year. And with Tucker Kraft out, he's also their best blocking tight end. So not only their best receiving tight end, he's their best blocking tight end. So that kind of complicates things because he's been such a big part of their running game as well. As far as Matthew Golden, he is listed as questionable. Matt LaFleur said throughout the course of the week that he looked at him more as day-to-day than week-to-week. He is somebody that, when I have watched Matthew Golden, he jumps off the screen to me with some of the skills that he has in terms of his speed, his agility, his quickness. But the Packers just haven't found a way to get him the ball. And that's my issue with this offense right now. They just don't have enough playmakers. They've got guys. I mean, Romeo Doubs is their leading receiver now with Tucker Kraft out, but he's good at catching the ball in a crowd because he's always in a crowd. He just doesn't have that separation. He's got the trust of his quarterback, and his quarterback gives him plenty of opportunities. Christian Watson probably factors more into the offense. He's in his third game back after tearing his ACL last year, and he's been slowly worked back in. He's probably going to have to be thrown in the fire a little bit more. I wish I had a better answer. I don't know what this offense looks like without Tucker Kraft because it seemed like things were trending in a direction where he was going to be such a focal point of that passing game. And they want to run the ball more efficiently, but their offensive coordinator a couple weeks ago said it's just happening too often where they're blocking the wrong guy. So the offensive line hasn't been good. And, oh, by the way, their best offensive lineman, Zach Tom, their right tackle, he is questionable in tonight's game as well. So things are obviously great.
You're making me feel better, Gabe. You're making me feel better. I got to tell you that. Let me ask you this. Does the Packer fan base look at Matt LaFleur as an advantage going into games and big matchups like this? Or because for a while his reputation was pretty strong. Where are they at with him now?
I would say it's a week-to-week thing, John. Last week we took a lot of calls on our show of people just kind of sick of Matt LaFleur, and it was bad last week against the Carolina Panthers. We've had people calling saying he should give up his play calling and that he should pass it off. Now, I think they only have one other person, Luke Getsy, on the staff, whoever has experienced play calling, and LaFleur is just not going to give that up. But I think the patience is starting to wear a little bit thin with Matt LaFleur right now in Green Bay because they continue to make just these simple mistakes and penalties. And, I mean, there are times where his decision-making, in terms of going for it on fourth down, it seems like LaFleur's just kind of flipping a coin. A couple weeks ago in a comeback win against Arizona, he wasn't going to go for it on 4th and 2 near midfield with his team down by 4. Instead, Jordan Love comes off the field. He goes, "Oh, Jordan looks pissed. All right, we're gonna go for it." Calls timeout, goes for it, and then they go on and win the game. Last week, he wanted to go for it on 4th down, but it was 3rd and 3. They ran a bad bubble screen, lost 5 yards, and he decides to go for it on 4th and 8 in a tight game where 3 points would have kind of made the difference. 4th and 8, obviously, really tough to pick it up. So I think the decision-making in-game has gotten a little frustrating for a lot of fans, and he's going to have to be better about making some of those decisions in order to kind of look. He's kind of on the hot seat as well. Before the season started, the Packers got a new president. I don't know how many people know this. So the way the Packers are run, the president's basically the owner. Kind of serves that role of the organization. And their past president, Mark Murphy, had to retire, mandatory retirement age of 70. Ed Policy takes over. And Ed Policy, as the president, looks at Brian Gutekunst and Matt LaFleur, general manager and head coach, and said, hey, they got 2 years left on their deal. I'm not going to give them an extension, but I also don't want to have a lame duck situation next year. Kind of putting those guys on the hot seat of, hey, you guys got to go out there and deliver. And, well, Brian Gutekunst went out and he got Micah Parsons. Matt LaFleur, I think he's been part of the reason why the team's been up and down this year.
Interesting.
It's the waxed eyebrows.
That might be it, too. Who knows? Gabe, listen, man, we appreciate the time. Keep up the great work.
Thanks, Gabe.
I'll be talking to you soon, man. I appreciate it.
All right, enjoy the game tonight, boys.
There he is, Gabe Neitzel from
He's got
ESPN
no energy at all,
Wisconsin.
this Gabe.
Look, he's a fellow morning show guy, but they're obviously the hour behind, and
He's got great energy,
they
though,
start
when he's
later.
on the network, too.
Oh, yeah.
Real
I
real
love
energetic.
working with him. You hear that speed from him talking Packers. It's that way with all
Talking
teams.
about all the teams. Yeah, I never, it's funny.
He's a
is
pro, man.
I'll give him credit because I never ever listen to him on the network and say, okay, he's a homer for this team, or his enthusiasm goes across all.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
good job. Good stuff.
Now I want to know, coming up next, did that make you feel better?
Oh, absolutely. I'm going to tell you more, though. I wrote down a couple things he said that made me feel better.
Because I'm telling you, I said at the beginning of the show, speaking with Gabe and the woman that runs Coop's Daycare.
Well,
they almost hate the Packers.
The two authorities on Green Bay Packers
Damn right,
football.
Man. All right, coming up
Cooper's
next.
Daycare.
Does John Kincade feel better after that conversation? And also his 3 observations from an NFL weekend where the Eagles do not play. They play tonight. It is Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Philadelphia is a sports city full of passionate and knowledgeable fans.
Your intelligence shouldn't be insulted with outrageous takes or analysis.
Here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5, the Fanatic, sort of back to our regular scheduled YouTube programming. The great fearless leader that is Mike Vito, coming in a little bit earlier to help relieve other people.
Thanks, Vito.
Mike Vito coming in. So now we will actually be going to commercial break. I know the viewers were entertained by my actions during commercials.
Well, you juggled, you did other things. You did your best.
I spun in the chair as fast as I could, like 5 times, and almost threw up. You know, I was trying to keep the people entertained that watch on YouTube. They're there with us every single day, so I wanted to be there for them.
Are they there for that, though? Who knows? I mean, we'll find out. It was good.
They actually said they'd rather it be that way than showing a graphic that says commercial.
I had someone add me on Instagram, DM me a screenshot of us juggling.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so people loved it.
Oh, okay, good.
That's great.
Well, then maybe
we should just juggle.
Maybe once a day we'll do a commercial where we stay.
Tell Haley to say, okay,
on.
there we go. Right. And just go, and you never know what it'll be.
All right.
Good stuff.
Before we get your 3 observations for the rest of the NFL, I told you that was going to make you feel better. I just, from my conversations with Gabe,
it made me feel much
over the
better.
year of doing shifts with him at ESPN, I knew that he thinks a little less of the Packers than you do.
There you go.
So tell us what made you feel better about after that conversation.
The right tackle potentially being out.
That's big.
Huge. From a team that I already gave you earlier on in the show, this is the most pressured quarterback in the NFL.
Right.
So even the Eagles' anemic pass rush, which is anemic, even that, this might be a game where they can get off a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, and create that. And where they have created pressure is right up the middle. So maybe this is going to be that.
And you have a new edge rusher in Jalen Phillips, Nolan Smith coming back, Brandon Graham, fresh legs.
I got to see how that all works out. I don't mean to say it condescendingly, but I'll believe it when I see it. As far as how that works, I believe that when I see it. What also made me feel really good is that when he talked about the inconsistency, I'm a believer that 8 games in, the Eagles have been incredibly inconsistent.
They have.
So when I hear somebody else who eyeballs the Packers on a daily basis spell out all the ways the Packers have been inconsistent, but in game, I can't remember honestly how many times we've walked in and said, man, I hate Sirianni's decision-making during game.
Not often.
Very, very, very. I try to remember. There was one in the Rams game where he went for it on that 4th down.
Okay.
And gave the Rams towards midfield, and then we ended up with a block
There's
kick.
another one
that led to the block
There's
field
another
goal.
one where he called a timeout, and I was like, why did you call a timeout? You just, you gave them 18 seconds.
But the point is, during Andy Reid's tenure as Eagles coach, I was constantly questioning in-game decision-making. It sounds like the Packers, the people who eyeball them on a daily basis, are saying they question LaFleur week to week the same sort of way. So, to me, those are 2 things that made me feel a little better about how things are going.
Okay. So
there you go.
I'm trying to help you out today.
That did well.
Are you in the gym yet? Or are you just like you're sitting in the parking lot
I'll be there for leg day
No,
today.
he's doing leg day. It's tush
as long
push.
as the back doesn't hurt.
It is tush push day.
Yes,
like
it's tush push
that
day.
is doing leg day on tush push day isn't important. What was the line? 1.5 tush pushes?
1.5 tush pushes.
Yeah, you got to hit that over, baby.
Yeah, that was good. By the way, I did note yesterday 4 different times I saw tush pushes watching
Bills,
Red Zone,
Chargers,
Bills, Chargers.
Ravens ran a fake one.
No, Ravens ran the fake one, but then the Ravens ran
They've
one.
done, yeah.
No, they ran one too.
And they do it with Mark Andrews.
And there was no
complaints,
commentary about it. In fact, they even used tush push in the Bills game. They even used tush push as the term and then backed off of it.
Of course.
And didn't say it again. It's almost as if there's a directive.
Yeah. To complain about it when the Eagles do it.
Of course there is.
From
It's
the
a smear
commissioner to
campaign.
keep this thing going, except for Tom Brady. Tom Brady refuses to buy into it.
Good.
Well, it turns out he doesn't like Roger Goodell very much.
Yeah,
Tom Brady is.
That's a good
but
point.
Tom Brady is stop it.
Yeah.
Stop.
Just
stop.
stop it.
Like stop. Don't be bitching and moaning. Stop.
By the way, that play with Lamar, the fake one.
Oh my.
That's dangerous because they flip it to him and they had a wide receiver in case he wanted to. It was almost like a tush push option. Like, good luck.
No, I mean,
trying to stop that.
Because Lamar Jackson is just he can be a cheat code, but he's a guy again. If people get on Jordan Love for
you got to see
big
come
games,
playoff time. Yeah,
because I mean he's a guy who seriously has had that problem.
Absolutely. All right, football music and John Kincade. What are your 3 observations from the rest of the NFL this weekend?
Well, one is I hope people were watching the today's number 1 seed, who the Eagles now have to keep pace with. The Eagles got to get back up tonight, get the win, and get the 1 seed back because the Seattle Seahawks have moved into it. They are an incredibly tough team.
Oh, they beat the crap out of the Cardinals.
They are, but they are doing it offensively and defensively. Their defense is so physical. But their offense is smoking. Like they're having a great time of things, and that could be a bit of a problem, and you do not want to go to Seattle in the postseason. So that's one to watch for. Seattle really finding a way to put on points. Their offense, much more prolific right now than the Eagles have been. Number 2, the bottom of the NFC absolutely sucks. I mean, it's bad.
Yeah.
The bottom of the NFC is bad, whether it's the Giants, the Saints, the Commanders, the Falcons, the Cardinals, and the Cowboys are just above them at 3-5-1. This is an NFC playoff picture right now that is separated by a half game from 7-1. I mean, this is really, everybody's in it. Bears at 6-3, Lions 6-3, Rams 7-2, Eagles 6-2, Seahawks 7-2. These games are critically important, and honestly, we're going to see swings week to week in the NFC like we're never believing. Maybe some stuff will start to shake out, but right now, it's a coin flip as to where anything's going to be, except that the Eagles are going to be one of the top 4.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of where they'll end up in the top 4.
It's kind of that way in the AFC, too. I mean, the Chiefs are the first team out right now at 5-4. All the other teams are below 500.
I mean, it's absolutely crazy. Another one is, I'll retract something that I was very confident in earlier in the year. I thought the second to the last game of the year was going to mean nothing for the Bills because I thought they were going to run away with it. The Bills are not only flawed, because they are flawed, but now they're going to have to fight for every single thing they've got down the stretch to try to secure everybody coming through Buffalo for the postseason, as they now are behind New England. They're now behind the Colts. They may not even end up with a home playoff game if they don't beat New England in their division.
Yeah.
Which changes the dynamics of that second to the last week, where you know it's sandwiched by 2 games with the Commodes. So right now, the end of the season looking easier for the Eagles. But the Buffalo Bills game, I retract it. That game's going to mean everything to Buffalo.
So I will update one of my 3 observations because I had the Bills as one of mine for fraud watch. Not fraud watch to the point where they're not going to make the playoffs. They're going to make the playoffs. But a lot of people had them getting to the Super Bowl, right? This would be the year that Josh Allen would, overtake.
I had them as the number 1 seed, and I thought it was going to be easy.
Here's the thing. Now that you think about it, right? Josh Allen last year was the best player in the league, and that's why they were so good. It's not Josh Allen because I already see Connor grinning. It's not Josh Allen. Yesterday was a bad game for Josh Allen.
No.
They have no talent around him, and defensively, that defense stinks.
Oh, my gosh.
The Bills' defense is really, really bad.
I would think, to me, watching that game, you're talking about Chesty?
I should say.
I'm looking at the Bills' defense and saying, the Eagles are going to get their 27 points.
Yeah.
They're going to go up there and they're going to score their points.
They've allowed 40 to the Ravens, 10 to the Jets, and 19 to the Saints. They stink. But that Saints game was close. Remember, we were in Tampa watching.
It was very
scoreboard watching.
Yeah.
21 against the Dolphins, 23 to the Patriots, 24 to the Falcons, 21 to the Chiefs, and then 30 to the Dolphins. The defense in Buffalo was not
good.
That's
bad. Sean McDermott, talk about hot seats.
Well,
if his seat's not hot, because he's a coward with the whole push-tush.
Welcome to the right side of history, boys.
Yeah, not good.
No,
Bills, Josh Allen,
because you're trying to say that Josh Allen's a choker, which
is ridiculous.
Is so stupid.
Just lost to the Dolphins.
Tell me you didn't watch the playoff games.
Yeah, you didn't watch the playoff games. All right, coming up next, how badly did Jerry Jones not want to trade Micah Parsons to the Eagles? The Eagles face Parsons tonight. I thought I read a parody account when I read the term poison pill. It is Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
By the Fanatic Sports Update.
No Jergens in Green Bay. I'm Connor Thomas, and it's game day for the Birds. They're set to take on the Green Bay Packers up at Lambeau. Monday Night Football to wrap up Week 10 in the NFL. Kickoff is at 8:15 p.m., and the Eagles will unfortunately be without center Cam Jergens, who is out tonight with a knee injury. New Eagle Jair Alexander also did not travel to Green Bay so he could continue his knee recovery. That was a coach's decision. So the Birds did get healthier over the bye week, but still missing a couple of guys. Nick Sirianni talked about the environment at Lambeau and the focus of the team going into tonight's matchup.
I don't get wrapped up in into that. We play at a lot of great places. Obviously, this place has the history that it has and have a lot of respect for that. But our job is to focus, to lock in on the things that we can control.
We'll be getting you ready for the monster matchup all day today here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Sixers lost to the Pistons last night, 111-108, despite a 33-point effort from Tyrese Maxey. Cade Cunningham, 26 to lead Detroit. They're off tonight. They'll face the Celtics on Tuesday. Flyers lost to the Senators on Saturday in overtime. They're going to be off until Wednesday night. So a focus on Monday Night Football tonight. Just the Birds, and it's good that they're back. This update's brought to you by Macy's Backstage. It's a whole department inside your Macy's store where you'll find everything you need for the holidays, all for under $35. Don't wait. Find a location at Macy'sBackstage.com. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic. A couple of things before we get to this Micah Parsons report that came out over the weekend. It was a doozy. The Sixers had a 1-1 weekend. They lost yesterday to the Detroit Pistons without Joel Embiid. They won the game prior against the Toronto Raptors, and Embiid looked good.
No, I thought he was fantastic.
Yeah. 29 points, 6 rebounds, 4 dimes against the Toronto Raptors. Look, this is why I keep on trying to say, hey, let's be patient with this. It's not as good with Embiid on the floor. They trade him, cut him, all this kind of stuff. I understand the Raptors aren't that great of a team, but Joel Embiid looked better. It's like the Eagles-Giants game, right? The second time they played.
No, they looked better.
I know the Giants stink, but you saw it visually. All right, finally we saw something from this Eagles offense that we hadn't seen much this year. Joel Embiid looked really good last Friday night against Saturday against the Toronto Raptors, wearing the black jerseys, by the way, which looked slick. Whether you want to, you got to admit.
Me and Kevin Nagandi are on the same page.
You don't like it?
No, it's not that I don't like. It's not like I have a visceral dislike of it.
They look slick.
It does nothing for
the court looked beautiful.
Yeah, I loved it.
Hip hop, ringing the bell, tremendous, man. It was a great day. So the Sixers go 1-1 over the weekend. Flyers
Your
lose.
joy for it does make me smile, though.
Thank you. Flyers lose in overtime to the Senators.
That did not make me smile. Right before church, I was cursing in the living room.
Can you explain something to me? Why are people losing their mind over what Sean Couturier said about Matvei Michkov?
I don't know. I would suggest that, how do I be kind? There are some players who need mirrors for their own performance.
Sure.
And then commenting on others.
But did he say anything out of line?
No.
I didn't think he said anything out of line.
Well, to me, I said I think there's some players who could use a mirror.
Look.
Who if they were, how about this? If you were going to comment on my performance about something and failed to comment on your own first.
Right.
Then to me, I got a problem with that. I got a problem with people who aren't accountable themselves. And I'm just going to tell you that I don't think that's the best thing in the world. I don't think
fair enough. You know, especially last year when he
I would say that
complained so much about the
I would say so
scratch.
Because the whining was quite incessant. But, you know, he had a lot in the Flyers press corps that was with him. So he felt he had support and he had cover. Look, I would just suggest look in the mirror. Look in the mirror before commenting.
Oh, wait, did you know how many shots on goal Ottawa had?
Who?
Ottawa.
Ottawa. They had 12.
14.
Oh, I thought, really? 14?
Yeah. 14 shots.
They, by the way, they
goal.
went 24 minutes and 10 seconds without a shot on goal.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, the Flyers losing that game pissed me off so much, and it shouldn't because it's just one game and they got a point, and I hate the stupid loser point anyway. But to me, that really annoyed me. That whole thing annoyed me. You know, it was just not good. So, but I wasn't going to let it ruin it, and then I went to church and I cleaned right up.
Then you were clean. That's good. You're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN, WPN, HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. It is a football Monday, a championship Monday, a post-bye week victory Monday.
Okay, you're really on. I'll tell you this: you are. I love it because you're not leaving yourself any runway here.
No, if they lose, hey, that's all me.
You are totally into it. You are totally a believer, and I love it. I love because it is making me feel a little better. But Gabe, with the insights, actually really made me feel better. That was
Gabe
really good.
And look, I'll be honest. Part of my confidence is from previous conversations with him. Gabe Neitzel of ESPN Wisconsin was on with us about a half hour ago, and he basically he didn't rip the Packers to shreds.
Well, I think he sort of led you to believe that the Packers are not who I potentially think they are. That's how I would put it. He doesn't seem to have the respect for the Packers that I'm showing them.
Right.
So to me, he knows so much more about the Packers that makes me think. You know, you having a feeling or Connor having a feeling or me even having a feeling doesn't matter as much. A guy who watches them all the time saying to me, yeah, John, I don't feel that. I'm very frustrated.
Well, you don't
with
think
this team.
I sit down and watch every snap of the Packers games?
No, I don't. But I think that you'd like to.
All right. What do we got on the text line? And then I want to get to this Micah Parsons poison pill.
Yeah, that's going to be something. But Bill in Harleysville has something for us. He says, no worries tonight for the Eagles. Sirianni off the bye, no Kraft, and 3 edge rushers hungry to make their presence felt. 34-17, Birds win.
Yeah, I think there's going to be some mistakes made by those 3 hungry edge rushers because of how excited they are. But I also think they make plays. I think Jalen Phillips, I said it earlier in the show, I think Jalen Phillips gets a sack tonight and also a personal foul or something. Or he's going to, like, miscontain something, and it's going to allow the Packers to do something offensively because I think he's a guy that's kind of rejuvenated, born again with the Philadelphia Eagles when he was with the Miami Dolphins and having just not fun with them this season. And now all of a sudden he goes to a team that, A, needed him, B, is 6-2, and C, is the defending Super Bowl champion.
I know you don't watch the pregame shows, Connor. I don't think you do either, right? You don't watch the pregame shows on Sunday.
I'm normally on pregame.
Okay, no, on Sunday yesterday, there was a ton, and I mean a ton, of positive press on the Phillips.
I love that.
Like, league-wide, I think it was Jay Glazer talking about league-wide, the Eagles did the biggest impressive thing at the deadline.
How about that? I like that. Impact trade for Howard.
Like it was impact. They were talking about it being the one that everybody around the league was not happy to see the Eagles go and be able to do a deal like that.
Well,
so that's great.
Who was it? Was it Damian Woody or Marcus Spears? We played somebody last week that was like, I hate Howie Roseman.
Marcus Spears.
Marcus was having some fun because
it was in a respectful way, but he was like, I hate him. How does he keep doing this?
Yes, because he pulls it off.
All right, but he could not pull off the Micah Parsons trade. Howie Roseman's not that much of a genius. Close to it. So before the season started, if you guys remember, the Green Bay Packers acquired Micah Parsons from the Dallas Cowboys because Jerry Jones is a wacko.
Gosh, he was dumb. He was dumb on this one.
And they're one defensive player away from probably being a good team because of how good their offense is. Would have been different if they had Micah Parsons. So Micah Parsons goes to the Green Bay Packers, and we later find out that the Eagles were one of 2 teams that were actually calling Dallas trying to acquire Micah Parsons. And it wasn't just phone call like, hey, Jerry.
Oh, no.
No, it was like, here's our offer.
They were offering.
We want Micah Parsons here in Philadelphia.
By the way, if you watched the pregame shows yesterday, the reports of 3 first-round picks were supposedly false.
Okay. But there was an offer on the table.
But they were being ultra-aggressive is the term that was used. I wrote it down.
Trying to acquire them.
They were being ultra-aggressive doing that. They were not offering 3 first-round picks.
So the Cowboys end up trading Micah Parsons to the Green Bay Packers. Now, I've never heard of this in my life. The poison pill
You really
condition.
have never heard of this?
What? No, I've never heard of this.
Now, look,
it's a very common
really?
phrase.
It's a very common phrase.
No, but not for this trade stuff.
By the way, it's not common in NFL trades.
I've never heard this.
I checked in with our buddy TD. I sent him a text, Thomas Dimitroff, and finding out how common is it? It's not common.
So Parsons gets traded from the Cowboys to the Packers with a poison pill condition, which prevents the 2-time All-Pro from playing in Philadelphia in the immediate future. Well, they could trade him there. But if the Packers were to say, you know what, we want to trade Micah Parsons to the Eagles, or, of course, also the Commanders or Giants, but mainly the Eagles, the Green Bay Packers would then own an additional first-round pick to the Dallas Cowboys in 2028. So they had already given up 2 first-round picks to acquire Micah Parsons. If they then decide at some point this is not working out for us, we're going to trade him, and it's either to the Eagles, the Commanders, or the Giants, Green Bay would then say, oh, damn, we also have to give up another first-round pick to the Dallas Cowboys in 2028.
Now,
I've
look,
never heard this in my life.
Oh, no, it's happened in deals before, but it is extremely rare. It's not a common thing. This isn't something that happens all the time. But I understand it if I'm Jerry Jones. I'm making a deal. It shows you how much he didn't want to make this trade. It shows you how much he really didn't want to make it. But I think he backed himself into a corner.
Because it was his nonsense.
It's stupid. How he went about his business was so bad. He backed himself into a corner, and his pride wouldn't let him swallow his pride.
And look, I think
to me, I'm shocked.
I still thought that he was eventually going to get his contract.
I did too.
But maybe Micah Parsons looks around and goes, do I really want to deal with this? I'm going to get my money. Like, He got paid. So the second he got traded to Green Bay, they reworked his deal.
I don't think Micah Parsons, though, is thrilled to be. This is just me and hearing some of the chatter that they talked about. I don't think Green Bay was his desired destination to live.
Sure.
And lifestyle means something to him. I don't think it was his desired to go live in Genoa City, live in a very, very secluded place.
Maybe Northeast is, and that's why this poison pill was thrown into the trade. Now, the Packers actually deployed a poison pill in a trade before. You guys know what trade?
The Packers in a poison pill trade?
Yes.
Was it a Brett Favre trade?
Yes.
Brett Favre to the Jets?
In August 2008.
Or Minnesota.
When the Packers... when the Packers traded Favre to the Jets, they included the poison pill that if the Jets then trade Favre to an NFC North rival, such as the Vikings, which they did, they owed Green Bay 3 first-round picks or an extra
first-round pick.
I don't remember this. These things I don't remember.
But they traded him after I think that expired, right?
Okay.
After it expired because they didn't have to.
It would be very Jets that they did it anyway.
It would.
That's unbelievable. Well, yeah,
that's a good point.
They didn't realize that Brett was going to send out pictures of his junk.
So that's a good point.
If they wouldn't have made that deal,
and then eventually be a criminal stealing from the poor.
They wouldn't have made that deal.
That Brett Favre guy doesn't seem like a good dude, huh?
But one hell of an arm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, bad person.
Now, if you wanted to call him a playoff choker,
oh yeah,
you got a lot of ammunition because he had some of the all-time worst.
Unbelievable. All right, coming up next, game day. So we still have time to do today's headlines. We get today's headlines with Connor Thomas next. It is Kincade and Salciunas here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Football Monday, presented to us by our friends at the local Bryant Home Comfort Team. Visit opayBryant.com to keep your HVAC in the starting lineup. I have to ask before I toss it to you, Connor, is J.J. McCarthy in today's headlines?
He's not.
All right, good. I just want to make fun of 9.
Well, we're doing our 3 observations each, which is a total of 9. So I tried to stay away from some NFL stuff, figuring we're going to cover a lot of it.
9 interceptions?
9.
Is that it?
I love that we made fun of him on Thursday and
9,
Friday,
baby.
reading his quotes about his alter ego. I love how he talked about said alter ego just to have that crap performance at home against the Baltimore Ravens.
He was bad yesterday.
Yeah, he smelled himself. Great win against the Lions last week. Great win for the Minnesota Vikings. But then they lose to the Baltimore Ravens, future AFC North champions. 20 of 42, a touchdown pass, 2 interceptions for 9. He wasn't doing the mean mugging as much yesterday.
Yeah, there wasn't as much of the Anakin, what is it, Anakin Skywalker?
Yes, good job.
Is who he goes with. Now, that's the...
No, that's Jackson Dart.
No, but he's Anakin Skywalker, too, I thought.
Who knows?
I thought he said that last week on the radio, I thought. That he's a huge Anakin Skywalker.
How about that?
Yeah.
So
Well,
the guy with the black hair.
Yeah, it's Anakin. All I know is 9 maybe missed the trip. Maybe he missed the bus to the stadium. Who knows? All right, time now for today's headlines with Connor Thomas.
Today's headlines with the Connor Thomas.
It's brought to us by Lundy Law. For over 70 years, Lundy Law has been fighting for injured people. If you need them, remember the name, Lundy Law. Your injury lawyers. Visit LundyLaw.com. That's LundyLaw.com. We mentioned him earlier, but we did not talk about the game from last night for the Philadelphia 76ers. They did go 1-1 over the weekend, and it was a nice win in the first game of the back-to-back. And then they ran into Detroit and got it down to the wire, and this was what the final sequence sounded like here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Here's VJ with 9 seconds. Edgecombe back out top to Grimes, 6 seconds. Sixers go to Maxey with 5. Maxey needing to get a shot off. He loses it. He finally fires. It's in the air and no good. And Detroit has won the game by 3.
The end of game plays have not been great.
Yeah,
for the Sixers.
I was going to point that out. So
horrible.
There was the game. I forget if it was the Bulls or the Celtics because they were both down to the wire. Celtics, where Quentin Grimes last second was like, I don't want this, and gave it to Joe.
It was and then Joel Embiid gets the grief for it.
Yeah, because
where it shouldn't have been on him.
He's never clutch, doesn't hit any big shots. He shot-putted it from his stomach
because he wasn't expected to shoot
Quentin
it.
Grimes gave him the ball with a second left.
Did I just defend him, Pete?
Yes, you did. I'm proud of you. Nick Nurse is good. That's the next thing he's going to have to figure out. Look, right now he does have to figure out how does this work with Joel Embiid on the floor and these young guys that can go down the court so much. He's going to have to figure that out. I do also have to point this out. And the Sixers aren't the only one. There's a lot of teams with this many back-to-backs. But my God, I feel like every other game's a back-to-back right now.
It really does seem like it right now, and that sucks.
Because it's league-wide. They have 16 back-to-backs this year, and I think there's 10 other teams that have that many. So it's not like they have 16 and the next closest is 8.
And you know why? They're giving that big break in December. Like, they're getting a big break in December of, like, for the mid-season tournament. You know what I mean? The cup, whatever they call it. Right. They get more time off for that this year.
But they have, like, I went through it yesterday.
Terrible.
Let's just look in 2026, right? They have a back-to-back 11th and 12th of January, 19th and 20th of January, 26th and 27th of January, 2nd and 3rd of February, and
that's bad.
Might be it. No, 3rd and 4th of March, 14th and 15th of March.
That's bad.
They got a lot of back-to-backs.
25th and 26th of March.
Yeah, it's not good.
They have April 3rd and April 4th.
It's
9th and 10th of April.
I believe the point's been made.
My God. It's just like, come on, man. What are you doing here? By the way, shout out to Haley Taylor Simon. She's watching the show on YouTube.
Oh,
Hope
wonderful.
you're having a good time. She said, and I quote, it's cold here.
That's good. Good reporting by Haley.
Boots on the ground.
Cecily Tynan is not worried. Yes.
We'll continue with today's headlines because we had some more news on betting in sports. Yesterday, Luis Ortiz and Emmanuel Clase were indicted as part of the Cleveland Guardians situation where they were setting up intentionally throwing balls and betting on it. They now face up to 65 years in prison potentially. But was the payout worth it? And listen, sometimes you got to risk it for the biscuit, right? Especially when prosecutors allege that Luis Ortiz was paid $5,000, and Emmanuel Clase was also given $5,000. And then for a second is the incident $7,000 apiece. Emmanuel Clase, $20 million deal.
It's so dumb. It's absolutely ridiculous. But my guess is they were trying to do it for other people. Like
Probably.
they were trying that isn't the only amount of money that was tied to that.
Michael Porter Jr. straight up said,
guaranteed,
after his brother was kicked out of the NBA, when you're growing up in tough neighborhoods, you're helping your friends out. I don't know which one it was, Clase or Ortiz. I think it was Ortiz. This has been going back since 2023.
You see, that's the problem.
May of 2023.
They've been tracked for 3 seasons, and this is when they finally pulled the plug on it. That's incredible.
Yeah, it's crazy. By the way, you know how after Terry Rozier got caught, people were pointing out that one specific game where he was really, really bad?
Sure.
There's a video that somebody posted of Ortiz. Ortiz struck a batter out and screamed the F word after he struck him out. Like,
really?
Damn it! But another word. After striking a batter out. By the way, it was the first out of the inning. So it's not like he got out of a jam that he allowed a couple of runs in. Like, no, first batter of the inning, he struck out and screamed the F word almost as if he was upset.
They did point out, though, when he faced the Phillies, that they chased so many of the bad pitches that it actually almost swayed the case in their favor.
What else we got?
We'll round out with our replay.
How much of an emphasis are you putting on these next 2 games?
I'm kind of balking at this question more than I thought I would because when I look around the NFC, and I don't want to take anything from anyone's observations, but the Packers don't really feel like the top dog to me, and the Lions are a very, very good football team. But the NFC is so weird. I don't know that I can look at these 2 teams and be like, this is the difference between Super Bowl or not Super Bowl. They're very important
If they were to
games.
go 0-2?
Oh, yeah. No,
we'd be panicking.
I'm talking about on the winning side.
Okay.
If they go 0-2 against these teams, yeah, we have major issues.
Here's
but if
the thing. They're not
both,
the Giants, Vikings, Giants, which is your last 3 games.
Correct.
Like, this is more of a test, and it's on the road. And as John has pointed out, coming off the loss where they lost to the Carolina Panthers, even though the Eagles are coming off of a bye week. And look, if they go out there and let's say the offense doesn't look good, you know what the talking point will be. Oh, so it was just the Giants the last time they played.
Sure, but I kind of agree with the previous texter who made the point, like, Rams-Bucks might have been the tougher stretch than Packers-Lions, which I don't think we were saying.
And you didn't play, I'm going to tell you won both of those games, but neither one of those games are a poster child for saying the Bucks game, you literally putzed that one away almost.
Yeah.
And the Rams
had
game,
the miracle comeback.
It was absolutely a miracle. You weren't the better team in that game. So, I mean, there's a lot going on there. They got to make a statement tonight.
Hey, they won, though.
Keep the main thing the main thing.
And if they don't win tonight, then the pressure to win next week is immense. Immense.
If they don't win tonight, man, tomorrow should be fun for me.
It's going to be immense.
All right, coming up next, before I give my 3 observations from the rest of the NFL, we'll look at the updated NFC standings. Remember, last week was the first time I looked at the NFC playoff picture. There were some teams that won yesterday that we did not want to see get the W. So we'll check out the NFC playoff picture next, and I give my 3 observations from the rest of the NFL. It is Kincade and Salciunas here on 97.5 The Fanatic. It is 8:26 here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5. The Fanatic on this game day, Monday morning. Eagles, Packers tonight. And I'm feeling chesty. Chesty Chunas is back. People usually hate that. So literally my wife.
Well, it better be
my
right.
wife texted in saying, you sound like a douche this morning.
Well, you better be right is all I'm going to tell you is because people are not very forgiving when you make a
Oh, no. It's good. This is your fault. Jinx.
Well, that's stupid. But they're not going to be, I'm talking about, they're going to be all over you saying, what did you not see?
Well, I see a lot of things. I can see clearly now. All right.
Rain is gone.
The Eagles are 6-2 and hopefully improve to 7-2 tonight against the Packers. But right now, your NFC playoff picture. So the Seahawks beat the crap out of the Cardinals.
Do they still stink, Connor? I just want to make sure. Does their quarterback still stink too?
Yes.
Okay, good. I just want to make
sure. You
sure.
can ask me this every week. I will say yes until he gets smoked in the playoffs, and then we'll have this conversation.
Okay, good. Just want to make sure.
They beat the crap out of the Cardinals, who have done very well defensively against a lot of teams this year, but not yesterday against the Seahawks. So the Seahawks improved to 7-2. So they stand right now as the 1 seed. If the Eagles beat the Packers tonight, they will be the 1 seed. So that would change.
If the Eagles lose, they're the 3.
Correct, and the Packers would move up to the 2, who currently stand as the 3 seed. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers dropped to the 4th spot after they lose to the New England Patriots yesterday.
Because I thought they'd lose one of their next 2. So I thought for sure Tampa's going to lose one of their next 2 because they got at the Bills, at the Rams.
Yeah.
At the Bills, they're losing. Tampa's losing next week at the Bills.
So you think back-to-back L's for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
And to me, it's going to it could potentially the next 2 weeks could remove the Bucs from my worry radar.
By the way, they lost to the Lions on the 20th, so they've actually dropped 2 out of their last 3. The one game that they won was against the New Orleans Saints, who stink.
And they're getting healthier, though.
Yeah,
That's
they
the
are.
only worry.
But they've dropped 2 out of their last 3, and then they got Bills and Rams, both on the road, by the way.
They didn't want to lose that one yesterday.
No, they absolutely
Because
did not.
there's a good chance you could go 0-2 the next 2 weeks.
And then your 3 wild card teams right now as it stands, the Rams at 7-2, so same record with the Seahawks, but the Seahawks had the tiebreaker. Lions, the 6th seed at 6-3. Remember, the Packers beat them to start the season this year, which is why the Packer on top. And the Bears with another win yesterday. Comeback win against the New York Giants. There was snow at Soldier Field. It felt like
you were
football
loving
season.
that.
Oh, yeah, it was great. The Bears now 6-3. Got to give Ben Johnson a lot of credit because it was ugly to start.
They were 0-3, weren't they?
Have they won 6 straight?
No, then they must have been 0-2 or 1-3, and they've turned. They're playing really well.
They start 0-2, losses to the Vikings and
0-2.
Lions, and then they won 4 in a row, then lost to the Ravens, and now have won 2 straight.
I'm telling you, it's impressive what they're doing.
Yeah, it's 6-3. Caleb Williams looking good. They're relying on the ground game. DeAndre Swift had a hell of a day yesterday for the Bears. So Chicago now 6-3 as that final wild card team. So as it stands, there's the 3 NFC North teams again. Just this time, instead of the Vikings being in like they were last year, it's the Chicago Bears. And that's
I don't
your
know that
updated
will
NFC
hold,
playoff
but
pick.
you never know.
Yeah, because the Niners lost yesterday. They played the Rams. The Niners still have that very easy schedule.
They looked
Mac
terrible
Jones looked
yesterday, though.
Mac Jones looked all right.
Mac Jones
Rams
looked all
defense is good. But then after that, it's like the Panthers are 500. I think it's going to be an 8-team race when it's all said and done.
It just is weird to see the 7 playoff teams right now separated by half a game.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's
pretty wild.
A lot of parity with those teams. All right, hit me with some football music, Connor, as I give you my 3 observations from the rest of the NFL. Number 1, no shock. And again, kind of leads you in the next week. The Lions are scary. They're a really, really good football team, and I know that they've had their own issues, but you said it earlier, John. They've been upset with their offensive performance the last couple of weeks, which is why Dan Campbell took over play calling duties yesterday. Their lack of offense is still better than a lot of teams in the NFL.
And the fact that a coach that's never called plays, never done anything like that, can step in and do it is something that does annoy me about the tenure of Nick Sirianni. Because it can be done.
Yeah.
When you see something's inadequate, you're allowed to say, we're going to change things up.
They just have so many weapons. You know, Goff has a lot to work with. Jahmyr Gibbs yesterday, 142 yards, 2 touchdowns on the ground on 15 carries. David Montgomery also 15 carries for 71 yards. So they still did the dual threat back, 15 and 15 split equally, 1 for 142, 1 for 71. And then in the air, Jamison Williams, 6 for 119 and a touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 5 for 58 and a touchdown. Sam Laporta, 5 for 53. Khalif Raymond, 4 for 49.
That's spreading it around.
Jameer Gibbs added 30 yards receiving and a touchdown.
So they have all these weapons on offense, and they're managing to keep everybody involved, and it's amazing. And this is a first-time play caller.
And, oh, by the way, their defense is healthy this year. And that's what scares me about the Lions. All right, number 2, find someone who loves you the way Trevor Lawrence loves losing late leads. The Jaguars had a horrible blown loss yesterday to the Houston Texans of all teams, by the way, because the Texans have gotten very little going offensively this year. But the Jags just fall apart.
Oh, my gosh.
In the fourth quarter. And I saw my buddy West Virginia Rick, who's been, following the station for years. What, is it his fault the defense gave up points? Well, it's his fault that they go 3 and out, 3 straight possessions.
They got to be better. And by the way, errant throws left and right.
Yes.
Errant throws.
Yeah, it was a bad day for Trevor Lawrence. 13 of 23, 150 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. And they paid that man a lot of money. Lastly, Patriots are real. So last week, Connor, not to bring up one of your picks, but I understood what you were saying, that the Patriots' schedule this year has been weak, right? Like, they've beaten a lot of teams with 1 or 2 wins this year. They're 8-2, and their previous wins, Falcons, Browns, Titans,
at Buffalo,
Saints.
right?
At Buffalo was a good one. Panthers, Dolphins. Yeah. But yesterday, going into Tampa and beating the Bucs 28-23, and Drake May looked good again. And Trayvon Henderson finally getting his number called yesterday. 14 carries, 147 yards, 2 touchdowns. First-round pick? Did they draft him?
I forget if he was first or second.
I think it might have been second.
Second-round draft pick.
Yeah.
They have not used him much this year,
Fumbling
which is
problem
weird.
a little bit.
Yeah,
but is
trust him.
Ramondre Stevenson
Also a fumbling problem.
Yeah, like
that's a problem.
His carries by week. This is your second-round pick. 5, 3, 11, 7, 6, 9, 2.
But if a coach doesn't trust you.
Well, they trusted him yesterday. 14 carries, 147 yards, 2 touchdowns for Trayvon Henderson. The New England Patriots had a decent defense last year. The offense is stepping up, and Mike Vrabel is a hell of a head coach.
He is.
And so the New England Patriots are real.
They could use him in a place like a Nashville. Maybe be able to use him for the Tennessee. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't think he could fix what's going on in Nashville right now.
They didn't have to get rid of A.J. Brown and Derrick Henry and their head coach.
I mean, they screwed him over in Nashville.
Ridiculous.
Can I follow up, by the way, because my number 1 observation was going to be the Patriots?
Okay.
Just follow up. This is bull. I'm sorry.
What's bull?
The fact that the Patriots have Drake May now and are already back to whatever 8-2 and are doing this again. They're supposed to be in 40 years of darkness. Stupid franchise.
By the way, they
because
had
of Brady and Belichick.
They had darkness for a while. They had
Yeah,
they had like 4 seasons.
4 seasons is not enough. I need that franchise and that fan base to suffer, and it's ridiculous that they're good again.
They've had 1 winning season since 2019.
I mean, seriously, it's been a while.
Okay, it's not like the Stone Age. When's the last time the Jets had a winning season?
They've had bad.
Well, 72. There's good organizations and there's bad organizations.
I want them to be bad.
The New York Jets are a bad organization.
They lucked into Mike Vrabel being available, though.
Yeah.
Screw Boston.
Because he did not have to
and
be
they
available.
made the decision. They said, you know what, Gerard Mayo, we
it's
love you,
nice.
but we're going to do 1 year. There's a better candidate out there.
And there was a better candidate.
All right. Coming up next, we'll check our text line. Is the text line as confident as I am today?
They're pretty confident, yeah.
All right, I like that. I like hearing that. Also, you'll like hearing somebody else that covers the Packers that doesn't feel that great about their own team. As we always say, sometimes we're so close to the vest here in Philadelphia that we know the flaws, but there are lots of flaws for Green Bay. Hear what one Packers analyst had to say about what should be an Eagles beatdown tonight.
Yes.
Of the Green Bay Packers. It is Kincade and Salciunas here on 97.5 The Fanatic. All right, are you planning on inviting some friends over sometime soon? Maybe tonight. Maybe you're going to have some friends and family over for the Big Birds game, whether you're hosting a football watch.
As we're coming back, I just want to tell you that met 5 different people. My wife said that we should, one of our fine sponsors, Total Wine, and love what you find and find what you love. And yesterday went down across the border and did our little run.
Nice.
5 different listeners to Kincade and Salciunas and the Fanatic. I was getting station feedback, things people like.
So boozers love the show.
So I think that a live broadcast from Total Wine down in Claymont might be the way to go. That's easy for you Jersey people.
Yes.
That's easy for us Pennsylvania people. And it's not I don't know if it's illegal or not to bring that stuff home, but it was great. Great people there at Total Wine.
You just pay somebody off.
That was awesome. Great folks.
Deals have been done before.
I'll give Emmanuel Classe a call.
My mom used to go to the Acme on the way home. She would go there and then go to the Acme and say that made it legal.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So that's what it sort of was.
Sure. Totally.
So it works.
We could do that, or we could do any bar in the Northeast, because I was up there filling in a Corona event. And
how was that, by the way?
A bunch of people that love to listen up there.
Oh, I love that.
That's awesome.
It was a great time. Lady Mary Murphy listens and wanted to say hi. And this guy, Steve, he said, the number one person I like on your guys' station is Amy Fadul. And I said, 1, listen to us for the 9 o'clock hour every Tuesday, but 2, get in line because Amy's the best.
Yeah, Amy is the best. Yeah, that was Patty Wax, but not the South Street location.
No, I did not. By the way, I did not. That was a education for me because I only know Patty Wax South Street.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a second location.
Owned by the same people, awesome. Fun spot.
Well, I figured so, or they'd sue. They'd probably sue if somebody opened up another Patty Wax.
By the way, one more thing. Before you pull up the Bleeding Green Nation article, that's very interesting. Because, again, we had Gabe Neitzel on earlier today from ESPN Wisconsin. I do some shifts with him on the national network. He thinks less of the Packers than a lot of people do, and that's somebody that covers the team, inside and out. And I know you're going to give us some more insight and perspective that you need to hear. But one more mention that is not sports related. Shout out to my sister. Gave birth to my nephew on Saturday, Miles.
Oh, congrats.
So, what a great name.
Oh, yeah, great name. So my sister and my brother-in-law, Steve, congratulations to the 2 of them welcoming in their first child.
And he's a Delco. He's going to grow up a Delco.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So that means he's going to be a Notre Dame fan or a Penn State fan.
No, we're going to get him into Temple so he doesn't have to fake it.
But shout out to
Steve,
Good
job,
and Laura and the birth of my nephew Miles.
Miles, that's awesome.
Strong
and you said
name.
big kid, right? Beast?
Oh, yeah, Beast. Yeah.
Awesome.
Coop better watch out already. I'm telling you.
Right,
first words are going to be Packers suck.
By the way, Coop was very happy when I told him he is no longer the baby cousin because he only has 2 cousins and they're both older.
So now he gets to be
he's now the big cousin, even though Miles might beat him up in like 3 weeks. All right, what was this Bleeding Green Nation article that you sent me yesterday?
BLG, Brandon Lee Galton, does great work. One of my favorite follows, and I love to get his stuff. Well, he did a little analysis with the folks from Acme Packing Company, which is, of course, the Packers, the company that you sort of put their name on the Packers. And they do their own Bleeding Green Nation Acme Packing Company. It was really eye-opening when not only you listen to some of it and you hear and you read it, how bad they feel about the Packers. Like, they have very big concerns about the Packers' offense most of all.
Okay.
That in its 2 losses, they've scored 29 points. And in a lot of the other games, the offense has been very, very poor. So they don't like that. They think Micah Parsons has made an impact, but that the defense has still been extremely shaky. So even though Parsons has helped them win games with some strong performances, it's been a shaky defense, especially the back end of the defense. And they feel the loss of Tucker Kraft is huge. Huge. So, and I'm going to tell you, the Packers people who cover it every week said they cannot believe that the Birds are underdogs in this game. They think there's a incorrect line on this game. So check it out at Bleeding Green Nation. Brandon Lee Galton doing great work. And but it tells you they can't believe the Eagles are underdogs.
Well, it was amazing because when the line comes out, Packers 2.5, now it's down to 1.5. Packers are the favorite. That is a Green Bay line considering the Eagles are coming off the bye, right? I understand.
I think it looks like an Eagles sucker bet, like to me. Oh, it's a sucker bet. Take the Eagles. And to me, that always makes me concerned.
But as I've thought more and more about this game, it's why Connor and I both gave the Eagles plus 2.5 as our pick on Friday when we did our pick segment. I felt extremely confident about this game, and this weather that they might be dealing with tonight, where it's going to feel like in the teens. I saw somebody on our YouTube chat say, and by the way, shout out to YouTube saying all the nice things for my family, not for me, say it for my sister. It's great. The weather tonight, you and I did this segment on post-show headlines, something we do after every single show. The Eagles, would you rather them play cold weather or dome? The Eagles are a cold weather football team.
So if you had the choice, you'd rather see them in a cold weather game than a dome game.
Yes.
Absolutely.
The fast track.
And a day like today, where it's going to be freezing out there, and Jordan Love is already missing literally his best weapon, his top catcher that he throws the football to, tight end Tucker Kraft. This sets up well for the Eagles tonight.
I mean, this is a game where you want to win this game tonight because you don't want to go to Green Bay in January. You don't want to have to go, you got to win you got to go try to win again at Green Bay in January, even though that has been a problem for them to close out some games in the playoffs.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you, this is a big one tonight. And the weather elements, they're going to be worse in January. You're going to have a far worse night.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever you're facing, whatever we're facing tonight, if we're worried about that, it's going to be far worse in January.
So at kickoff tonight,
what's it going to be?
It'll be 30 degrees at kickoff.
What's it going to feel like? Does it give you a feel temperature?
No, I'm just on the quick Google.
Come on, Adam Joseph.
Google
give me
search.
something here.
Right around the end of the game, it'll drop down to 25 degrees.
Okay, it's going to feel like teens easy.
Yeah, especially, I don't know, with the 12-mile-per-hour winds.
Okay, that's nothing.
22 mile per hour wind gusts.
Okay, that's a problem.
So that could do something. I'm trying to find where the real feel as of right now. In Green Bay, it's 10 degrees.
Yeah,
real feel.
Haley's going to be miserable today.
7 o'clock.
Sorry, Hale.
7 o'clock Central Time when it kicks off. The real feel will be 22. And it will stay in the 20s through the end of the game. But look,
how do people live there?
I would
lose my mind.
Used to it.
You would lose it. Connor, I can tell you right now, first of all, I hope you do it at some point in your life, go to see a game there.
Yeah.
It's outstanding.
Yeah, in September.
But I can only tell you is you would find it, Connor would be driven nuts living there. Connor would never be able to live there.
They got nightclubs?
Here's why.
Yeah, they have tap rooms.
Here's why I'd be fine.
They got tap rooms which work.
There's a difference between their cold and our cold. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I remember I used to go to Vermont all the time with my family. And one year we were up there, and it was like 15 degrees. It felt different.
What do you mean it felt like it? It wasn't like saying positively or negatively?
Yeah, positively. It wasn't like super windy.
Well, because the city, you get the wind tunnels and everything. With all the buildings, it becomes windier.
Yeah, like the 15 was just like, all right, it's cold outside, but it feels fine.
I'm going to tell you, Green Bay's cold and I saw a game where I was covering a playoff game, Michael Vick in a blizzard.
Yeah.
And I felt like I felt my bones. You know when it's cold and you feel like you can feel your bones.
Dude,
that's how it felt.
I will never forget Tom Coughlin's red face.
Oh man.
When they were in Lambeau for that playoff game.
Yes.
I mean, it was beet red.
Oh no. It was the wind burn of all wind burns.
That was 2008. 2008 playoffs.
Gonna be nasty.
All right, coming up next, I ask you guys, who has the bigger second half? I'll give you the two names next. It is Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Prime time for the Birds. I'm Connor Thomas, and it's game day for the Eagles, but also game day in prime time as they're set to take on the Green Bay Packers up at Lambeau Field. Monday Night Football kickoff at 8:15 p.m. this evening, and the Eagles will unfortunately be without Cam Jurgens, who's out tonight with a knee injury. New Eagle Jair Alexander also did not travel to Green Bay so he could continue his knee recovery. That a coach's decision. Nick Sirianni met with the media on Saturday. Talked about a couple of things, including the focus that the Eagles need to have heading into an environment like Lambeau.
I don't get wrapped up into that. We play at a lot of great places. Obviously, this place has the history that it has and have a lot of respect for that. But our job is to focus, to lock in on the things that we can control.
We'll see how locked in the Eagles are tonight as they come back off their bye. We'll be getting ready, ready for the monster matchup all day here on the Fanatic. Sixers lost to the Pistons last night, 111-108. Tyrese Maxey did have 33. Cade Cunningham a strong 26 points for Detroit. Sixers off tonight. They'll face the Celtics on Tuesday. Flyers lost to the Senators on Saturday in overtime. They're off until Wednesday night. This update is brought to you by the New Jersey Department of Transportation. So much about safety on the roads comes down to respecting each other, from roadway workers and emergency crews to pedestrians and cyclists. Learn more at jerseydriversrespect.com. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. Hit us up with a text message, Connor, on the text line. What are people saying about tonight's game? It's a chest day Monday for me. How much of an emphasis are you putting on these next two games? I will tell you right now, I will be Noodle Arm Andrew next week. But right now,
that's going to drive people nuts, by the way.
Right now, well, I think the Lions are.
So you think they're going to?
I think the Lions are the team right now in the NFC. Despite them having some Jekyll and Hyde moments themselves this year.
That's going to drive people nuts, just telling you.
They've and they have, you want to talk about game circled? They also probably have their game next week circled because it was we should have played the Eagles had we not been hurt.
Because you realize what you've done.
What have I done?
If they lose tonight.
Oh, yeah, we're in trouble.
Then you're setting it up where you already are telling us like you think next week's bad news.
But as Reese Hoskins once said, we ain't losing.
Oh wait, you're gonna wait. So wait a minute, how you gonna spin this?
What do you mean they ain't losing? I'm just telling you right now. It's W.
Okay, okay. We're watching. Remember, where does he live? No.
Who, Reese?
Yeah.
I don't think they opted in. I think he's a free agent.
Is he gone from there yet?
I forget. I saw something about Reese Hoskins.
I heard people I heard someone mention on the weekend that, well, why don't you bring Reese Hoskins back? And that's where I turned off the radio.
Oh yeah, no, the Brewers
put on some music.
Brewers declined his
I put on some music at that point.
All right, what do we got on the text line?
So Pete from Delco checks in and says, on the Green Bay playoff win, being a bad bounce away from losing is much different than being a Jordan Love game-winning drive away. Packers are good, but don't scare me.
Okay.
I mean, look, they are a playoff team.
He had one of the best playoff performances, by the way, in this decade when he smoked the Cowboys on that Saturday night.
Yeah.
Where he went to Dallas.
And we celebrated
I mean, he was unbelievable. So painting him as like being this guy, yeah, he doesn't win the big games. He's done very well in that game last year. I got a ton of respect for it. You come to Philly in a playoff game and you got nobody. You have no wide receivers. Your top three guys are out.
Don't fall for that Dallas game. Because if Jordan Love can still be a playoff choker, but also beat the Cowboys, who are the biggest playoff chokers, like that bar is in the basement.
Yeah, well, Dallas has had their issues. All right, real quick, I want to ask you guys this question.
Yes.
We'll get on the record here. Who has the better second half? A.J. Brown or Saquon Barkley? Both players who have had lackluster first halves for their standards, right? For their standards. A.J. Brown, top 5 wide receiver in the NFL. Saquon Barkley, top 5 running back in the NFL. Who do you believe will have the better second half?
Saquon.
I say A.J.
Okay, good. This is good for the conversation.
Connor?
Jalen Hurts. No, I'm going with Saquon Barkley as well.
Okay, and you guys think maybe because the offensive line just kind of figures they're
I think it's going to be. I think they're healthier.
Yeah.
And I think that they will also, in my mind, put a focus on making sure as they get more into this colder weather they talk about, that Saquon is getting a big focus of the offense.
I still think the defenses that the Eagles will face will be keyed in on trying to stop Saquon. And I still think that opens up the door for A.J. Brown to get his. And, oh, by the way, Devontae's played so well and Dallas Goedert has played so well that maybe there's extra attention shown on other guys sometimes, and that leaves the door open for A.J. Brown to have some big days. I expect A.J. Brown to have a much better second half.
What is Saquon pacing for right now?
1,000.
Because it feels
around
like
1,000.
He's not going to end up being like an 1,000-yard rusher. Like,
no, he's pacing for like 1,000.
No, I'm not saying short. I'm saying on the high side. Like, I still think he probably gets to 12, 13.
I'm thinking 1,200 is where he's going to.
Because remember, 1,000 yards has been diluted. Yeah, because you're playing 17 games as opposed to what used to be 14.
Well, they didn't let him, but play the 17 last year. Hopefully, he doesn't have to play 17 this year.
Right, but like. There's a lot of guys that are now 1,000-yard rushers in the NFL. It's not the way that it used to be perceived as like this incredible feat, like the century mark. Remember that? That
was used to be a big deal.
That was ESPN, like, oh, they did the century mark tracker. And that stuff's it's not really the same anymore. But he'll reach 1,000 yards.
That's why I'm just saying, if you expect him to get to the 1,200 mark or whatever, where Johnny and I are thinking, he's got to have the better second half.
And I think he's going to have one or two big games.
I agree.
That are going to. Like, he'll probably get 300 yards in 2 games.
Maybe tonight.
That'll spin that over. Could be.
So here's what I want
cold nights.
Our YouTube audience to do. I want our YouTube audience to answer that question. All I want you to do is just answer AJ or Saquon. Who do you believe will have this better second half for the rest of the season for the Philadelphia Eagles, A.J. Brown or Saquon Barkley. Just respond to that on our YouTube chat. And if you want to send them in a text line as well, it's 610-632-0975. Connor can tally them up a little bit. By the way, Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
I don't know if Connor's going to have him in his 3 observations.
Oh, I will.
Dude, 32 carries, 244 yards, 3 touchdowns yesterday. Still not a finalist for MVP, unfortunately, because it's such a quarterback award. But he deserves a lot of attention, man. Actually, no, he's third. He's third on the list. It's Drake May and Matthew Stafford.
Well, that's
plus
about where
300.
Saquon was last year at this time.
I mean, look.
In the odds. So they're going to get, but they're also committed to making sure that he continues to be showcased. So they're going to do everything they can. They need to.
Yeah.
They need to.
Oh, by the way, this is coming off of a 14-carry, 45-yard day against the Steelers.
Correct.
So he bounces way back yesterday, 32 carries for 244 yards.
Falcons will do
hey,
that
your
to
bet hit, though.
Yeah, I felt very good about that. And when the Falcons almost were winning the game, I'm like, oh, wow, they could win the game. I just like the 6.5 a lot. And it worked out. We were tracking that in overtime.
All right, what else we got on the text line? By the way, so far, immediate returns, more people saying Saquon will have the better second half.
Dave from Mount Laurel checks in and says, major emphasis on these next 2 games. We're not competing against the NFC East anymore. We're competing against the NFC top tier. This is a big litmus test and can have huge seeding ramifications.
Love it. That's the appropriate answer.
There's a chance that the next 2 weeks, you very well could play both teams in the playoffs.
And if you what you're trying to do is you're trying to avoid having to play both of them. You're trying to make sure it comes through South Philly. Because right now, I'd say it looks like the Eagles are playing for one of the top 3 seeds.
Yes.
But if you get that 3 seed, you only get 1 home game. And so you need to guarantee. Even last year, the 2 seed was critical because then you guarantee yourself 2 home games.
Right.
And then you let the chips fall where they may. And let's just say that Seattle's that team. Connor's told you they suck. So they're not gonna win in the playoffs. They're gonna choke right away. So then you're gonna get the home field advantage.
Who, Seattle?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's light work. They lose.
So they won't. They're going to lose their first playoff game. So there you go.
By the way,
maybe by 50.
The thing is with these playoffs, I'm not trying to get too ahead of myself because they still have a lot of games left to be played.
Okay.
You've mentioned the parity in the NFC and how half a game.
Half a
game,
yeah, exactly.
There could be upsets in the first round.
There very well might be.
And we saw it the last couple of seasons where there's upsets. But I mean, if the Rams, if the season ended today. All right, I know the Eagles played tonight, so let's just go based off of today. Seahawks are the 1 seed. The Eagles play the Bears. The Packers play the Lions. See the Lions beat the Packers. And the Bucs host the Rams. You could very well see the Rams go into Tampa and beat the Bucs.
Oh, sure they could. Absolutely they could.
You could potentially see, because the Bears wouldn't beat the Eagles, you could potentially see 2 upsets in those first-round matchups in the NFC.
You're going to get to see the Bears here.
Yes.
On Black Friday, so we'll find out a little bit about how much game they actually have.
Yeah.
They got a little bit of the horseshoe up their butts like the Commodes did last year.
Oh, yeah.
They're winning a lot of weird
wins,
games. Yeah. And honestly, if Jackson Dart doesn't get the concussion yesterday, I don't think the Bears win that game.
Yeah, by the way, as you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN, HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. We've got some technical difficulties, so no re-rack today. Brian Dable, I think, is trying to, literally kill Jackson Dart.
I would fire him today.
So yesterday,
I would not let Brian Dable have another shot to try to save his job.
Brian Dable did something yesterday that Doug Peterson did with Carson Wentz. Jackson Dart takes a shot where his helmet is halfway off his head, and another defender comes over along the edge, pushes the helmet into his face, and then somebody lands on his head. I don't know, first off, how no spotter said, hey, this guy needs to come out of the game. I'm not talking about Brian Dale. I'm talking about the official, the third party.
And there was a
spotter.
roughing the passer on it, wasn't it?
Yes, there was. I don't know how the spotter doesn't pull him out. But the very next play, you run a designed quarterback run.
Because Brian Dable doesn't care. Brian Dable's trying to save his job, and he literally is not caring about his players' health. That's all. That's the only explanation there. And on the broadcast, they talked about it. They talked about What are you doing here?
I don't know how the very next play after your player looks like he got concussed, you're running a quarterback design run.
Brian Dable, man, get him out of there.
And you said
I'd
you
get him
said
out
something
today.
to me this morning. What I saw the stat floating around there too. What?
Brian Dable, how about this? He has lost 3 games this year where halfway through the fourth quarter, they had a 92, 97, and 99 chance percent to win. And that has never been done in the modern NFL since they've tracked this win probability.
Right, so he's really close to having a good record. I say keep him.
Yeah, but no. I want him kept.
He's knocking on the door.
But
He'll figure it out.
But I'll tell you this much.
Here's the problem. They're going to have another top draft pick, man.
And that's the problem because the Giants are going to be a problem. They really are. They're going to be a problem. They are a talented talent. They have a better front four than the Birds. They have a right now they're creating mayhem up front.
Yeah.
And so that's good. You've got it looks like they have a chance to have their quarterback, but as we've seen, you need to see the second play when everybody reacts to Jackson Dart.
Yeah. Well, next year they'll have Malik Neighbors back.
Malik Neighbors is awesome.
Yeah, so
they got a good running back.
Yeah, Giants are going to have another top pick because they're 2-8 this year. All right, give us another text message, Connor.
All right, so on the Saquon versus AJ conversation, we have a first-time texter here checking in that says, I think Saquon has a better second half of the season, and it's definitely not because I took his over in rushing yards at 14.25.5 before the season.
I think that bet's gone. I don't want to doubt Saquon, but I think that bet's gone. Like, that's one you might want to put that on arrival.
Dude, he's
1,400 yards.
He's at 519.
Yeah, that would be a big one because I'm not sure they're going to let him get that kind of wear and tear.
Just a couple of 400-yard games, he's right back in the mix.
That'd be great. I'm all for it.
His season, and again, this isn't all on Saquon. We've talked about this. The offensive line's been a mess. So he's only topped 100 yards once, and it was the last game against the New York Giants where he ran for 150. Do you know that he's only had at least 61 rushing yards twice this season, the 150 against the Giants and the 88 against the Chiefs?
Okay, that doesn't make you feel
Other than that, everything's been 60 or less.
That's bad. That's bad. I mean, that's. I think it is more of a product of the offensive line.
No, I agree.
It's not.
And the predictability, which was a factor for a long time.
Well, when you have an offensive coordinator that doesn't know how to really disguise anything.
Yeah.
That can be a problem.
Like, it's not great when you can remember specific runs, like the touchdown run against the Bucs when they finally actually created a hole for Saquon Barkley. Like, we
were there for it.
Yeah, that's not good when you can remember some things. All right, coming up next, we'll get back to something that we started off the show with. Nick Sirianni, after the bye, has been tremendous, and not just for the first game after the bye. What does this mean for the Eagles moving forward? It is Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
It's all about live betting on the
Nick Sirianni undefeated following a bye week, 4-0 in his NFL career. But earlier today, I tried to make John Kincade feel even better.
And by the way, you have succeeded.
Well, thank you.
At least making me less apprehensive.
So the 4 wins post-bye week, they beat the Commanders in 2021. Sorry, I keep on saying Commanders. At the time, the Washington football team.
Which, by the way, was better than Commanders.
The Washington
do you agree with
football
that?
team. No, it's too much. Commanders is easier to say. The Eagles beat the Washington football team in 2021, 27-17. Both teams were 6-7 at the time. Then the Eagles beat the Steelers in 2022. That was in the year they went to the Super Bowl. Then they beat the Chiefs. I know it was the collapse year, but going into Arrowhead and beating the Chiefs was a very impressive win. And last year, sure, just the Browns. But it's not just the fact that they're 4-0 post-bye. It's that they're also 4-0 the following game. And it also has shown that of the three of the 4 seasons, not the Chiefs-Bills one.
Well, remember that the one thing I'm just going to get you on, the Washington football team win.
No, but they figured
out.
out
a 4-string quarterback.
They figured out an identity that they wanted to rely on.
Yeah, that was the COVID quarterback.
Now, the identity in 21 did not do anything for them come playoff time because Tom Brady beat the poop out of them.
He did.
But the identity that they found post-bye week in 22 and 24, the years they go to the Super Bowl, one of which they won, that self-scouting stuff that Nick Sirianni says, I think Nick Sirianni does a lot of coach speak, like where he just says things to check off the box. I do believe there is something to what this Eagles team does during a bye week that has propelled them to greater heights. Just like last year, they changed their offensive identity. This year, they were able to focus on the trade deadline, right? Because the trade deadline happened during their bye week.
And they did. They maybe got the most impactful trade from Jay Glazer talking to people around the NFL.
Which is great.
The Eagles thinking that they were the ones who cashed in the most.
And they're also coming off of a game in which both the passing and rushing offenses looked good, and you did that without A.J. Brown. And you get A.J. Brown back tonight following his hamstring injury. So I feel great about the Eagles for many reasons tonight. We'll get to the Lions game when we get to the Lions game, but tonight I feel very good about the Eagles'
I
chances.
can't wait to hear your score prediction, and either can AJ, not AJ Brown, one of our listeners, because I cannot wait to hear Andrew's score prediction on this. He does not consider you usually chesty about Eagles
I've
wins.
picked against the Eagles, I think, 3 times this year.
And he's anxious to hear your score prediction for
60-0.
That's good. So we'll get to that.
All right, what do we got on the text line?
Why don't you workshop that one?
Yeah, Sean in Cinnamon checks in, says if the Eagles were playing a team you didn't know the name of that had lost to the Cleveland Browns, Carolina Panthers, and tied the Cowboys, would you be afraid of them? The answer is no. I'm not sure why the fear of that quarterback and coach who have won nothing exists.
Yeah, look, they've won. Or LaFleur has. He went to an NFC title, two NFC title games. He's been successful, but there is, as we spoke to my man Gabe Neitzel, who I've done shifts with at ESPN. He does stuff ESPN Wisconsin. There's thoughts around that area that Matt LaFleur's not really cut out for it.
Yeah, maybe go elsewhere. But Matt Ryan didn't back in the day. He had a chance to take over when Shanahan went to San Francisco. LaFleur had a chance to become the Falcons' offensive coordinator, and it's my belief that Matt Ryan nixed it.
Okay.
So at the time, so
interesting.
Maybe there's some. Maybe a lot of people have some doubts.
All right, what else we got?
All right, we also have a check-in from Mike in Levittown, who wants to get in on that conversation we've mentioned a couple times about the Eagles-Packers postseason game last year. And he says, let's not forget that Eagles-Packers playoff game was 16-3 into the fourth. To me, it was also never in doubt. And the Eagles this year are not in doubt tonight. Still the most complete team in football. They win tonight and likely beat Jared Goff at home on national TV. Go Birds.
Are the Eagles the most complete team in football? I don't necessarily agree with that because I haven't seen it.
They haven't shown, you're basing. What is someone basing that on?
But let me say this too:
what they believe or what they want to happen.
How many complete teams do you see right now?
I was just going to say, who would it be?
The NFL is wide open.
Yes, I think that the Lions have shown you they are every bit as complete, if not more, than the Eagles. Every bit. First of all, there's so much. They're exponentially better.
But even they
have
had bad losses.
They have, but they're exponentially better offensively.
The Lions losing at home to the Vikings.
I can't understand. I can't understand how they lost that game.
See, you say they're better offensively. Better offensively teams do not make play calling changes midseason. There's something going on there as well.
What they did is what you should be saying to yourself is the Eagles didn't. They saw a problem and they addressed it. They weren't afraid to address it.
We don't
they weren't
know if
afraid
that's the right move.
They weren't afraid. Well, looks good. Looks
Against
good so
a
far.
dead Commanders. You
Okay.
wipe this week. I'm telling you right now, wipe this week. That Commanders team is so bad. They're
Okay, well, we're
punching
gonna
guys
see-
in the helmet.
Okay,
Yeah,
we're
that
going to
was-
see next Sunday then.
All right,
we'll see
here,
next Sunday how that offense looks here in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I
We'll
think
see
they're
if
good offense. I just wouldn't use the Commanders game as the benchmark for if
Okay,
they're
well then
good
we'll
or
use
not.
next Sunday. We'll see if he has a bad game next Sunday. Connor, you're right. If he goes out there and they have a really good Sunday offensively against this really most complete team in football, Eagles stuff, then we'll find out.
You want to know how open the NFL is? Now, you know me. I don't always live and die by the lines. The lines, not lines.
Lions.
The lines.
The Detroit Lions?
All right, so let's look at the NFL playoff picture, all right? I have the top 11 Super Bowl teams based off of odds. The Patriots, who are 8-2, are 11th. The Broncos, who are 8-2, are 10th. The Ravens, who are 4-5, are 9th. The Colts, who have the best record in football at 8-2 and tiebreakers, are 7th. The Packers, 6th. The Seahawks are the Seahawks are 6th. They're not even in the top 5. Your top 5 are the Bills, Rams, Lions, Eagles,
Wait.
Chiefs, who are not even in the playoffs.
Wait a
if
minute, the
season
Bills
ended
has not
today.
been updated from yesterday?
The Bills are still plus 950 at number 5.
Oh my gosh.
Chiefs number 1, who are outside looking in right now. Eagles number 2. Lions number 3, tied with the Rams, and then the Bills at plus 950. And the teams, some of the teams that are 8-2, Patriots 11th, Broncos 10th, Colts 8th.
That's amazing.
That's how open the NFL is.
No,
this
it is.
year.
It really is. That
It
tells
also
you.
shoes that pedigree matters for Vegas, right? That,
Right.
Like the Chiefs.
Well,
are-
remember, this
Chiefs
is
are
how
number 1.
people are betting too.
Sure.
So, I mean, it's like how they're trying to get people wagering, and a lot of those teams are the favorites, and people are going, I don't want to believe what I've seen.
Right.
I don't want to believe in some of these teams. We'll find out what happens.
We absolutely will. All right, coming up next, Connor Thomas will give his 3 observations from the rest of the NFL. Before that, have a couple of other games down the road become more difficult? We'll get into that coming up next. It is Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5, the Fanatic. Oh, it's my favorite time of the year. I get to say it. The Hess truck's back, and it's better than ever. Johnny the
Kincade and
26 here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. We will get to Connor Thomas's 3 observations from the rest of the NFL here momentarily. But looking ahead to the Eagles' schedule, have games become a little bit more difficult than what we expected maybe before the season or maybe even a couple of weeks ago, right? And this is why John Kincade hates W's and L's. So after these Packers-Lions games, which we have had circled since day one, since the day the schedule came out.
There are some that are easy to figure out. Those are going to be huge games.
The Cowboys in Dallas, the offense that we have seen from the Cowboys this year has been dangerous. I don't think the Eagles just hold them to 21 points again.
More dangerous than ours.
So is that game more dangerous than what you may have expected before the season started?
Yes.
I think we can all agree with yes. The Bears game the following week. Short week for both teams. Let me just double check to see when the Bears are playing.
They play Sunday, right? I think they always
yes. Yeah.
I think they always have the teams that are playing in the short week have to be uniform.
Correct.
I think NFL Players Association put something like that in.
So the Bears, who are now all of a sudden 6-3, I will tell you, I'll probably still feel good going into the game for the Eagles, but the Bears at 6-3 is not. I don't think a lot of people had the Bears at 6-3.
No. So that's a more dangerous game than you expected.
The Chargers, which I know you had them winning their division, but there was a stretch earlier this year where you're going, uh-oh. You know, they lost to the Giants.
Yeah, I was like, what's going on
They lost
here?
to the Commanders. Yeah. They barely beat the Dolphins. They lost to the Colts. You're going, all
what's
right.
going on?
Maybe
Like,
they're
what are
leaking
they?
some oil here. Rashawn Slater hurt before the season. Joe Alt got hurt a couple weeks ago. They looked pretty good last night.
They look
against
good.
the Pittsburgh Steelers. So that Chargers game might be a little bit more difficult. But the one that I think changes everything, as you said before the season, you thought the Bills would run away with it. I think everybody thought the Bills would run away.
And they would be talking about, I thought the Bills game wasn't going to matter. And I told you I didn't think that the Commanders games were going to matter.
Which might still be true.
The Commanders games don't matter.
They're out.
They matter to us, but they don't matter to the Commanders. Commanders have 7 losses.
But the Bills might be playing for something. They will be playing for something because they're 2 games back of the Patriots right now?
A game and a half.
Game and a half back of the Patriots
and that's
right now.
And they've already lost them head to head. So that's the big one. That's that half.
So that game will definitely matter. Here's what the Bills still have ahead. They have the Bucs, the Texans, the Steelers. Bengals, Patriots again. The Eagles game is sandwiched in between the Browns and the Jets.
And the Patriots game is at New England, right?
Correct.
That's going to be brutal.
Yeah.
I mean, they've already lost at home to them. They like New England. That is going to be their Super Bowl, winning that one, because if they win the division, the Bills don't get a home game, which would mean, by the way, bad news for the Eagles, because that would mean the game that we play at Rich Stadium would be their last home game ever.
Right.
In
So
their stadium.
they're playing to close the doors.
Like it's like so many things now are not going the way that I wanted them to go.
If I've learned anything about the last game in a stadium, they might not pull out the W in that one.
True.
Yeah.
But that was playoffs. So
yeah, exactly.
All right, real quick, one more thing before we get your 3 observations. One of the greatest catches I've ever seen in my life happened this weekend in college football when Indiana was able to come from behind and beat the Penn State Nittany Lions. Heartbreaker for the Nittany Lions.
Yeah, wasn't it a heartbreaker?
Omar Cooper had one of the greatest catches where I believe he literally broke the rules of science. I don't know how he got a foot down.
It was amazing.
It was spectacular. And by the way, the moment of the game as well, a late go-ahead touchdown. It literally broke the voice and brain of Johnny's favorite, Gus Johnson.
It's absolutely horrible.
Was that Mario?
Because he screams.
Wow! Yes, it's the first thing I thought of when I was watching the game. I was like, "Oh my God, he's Mario." That was. I like Gus more than you do.
Oh yeah,
a lot more than you do. But
yeah,
that was
a lot more.
Dude, that was
terrible. That's a terrible. That is not any like we have Ray Dunn in the building, a guy who one day you're going to hear doing somebody's big time play-by-play.
What?
Ray would never call.
He's already Temple Hoops, man.
I understand that, but I'm talking
sometimes.
about that Ray's going to be a household name for your Cooper Salciunas. Could be like,
hell yeah,
Dad,
man.
you know Ray Dunn? I promise
I'm
you.
going to say, he doesn't text me back anymore.
Never plays basketball.
Guess
with
what?
us.
For tickets, he better. So, but the bottom line is, to me, is that's horrible.
Yeah, it
Horrible
was a rough. I understand maybe being speechless because the moment was so unbelievable, but
He's never going to let that
wasn't-
happen.
That wasn't speechless.
No, he's never going to be speechless because he's got to upstage it. He upstaged. You know what? He upstaged one of the greatest moments. That is a great catch, maybe the greatest catch you've ever seen. And if you're talking about Indiana wanting to win a national championship, it was necessity. And he upstages it with that.
Yeah.
That sounded like something you'd put on during March Madness when the kids are doing the play-by-play, and you play the college kids doing play-by-play.
All I know is that catch defied gravity. Like it was
amazing.
It was unbelievable the catch that kid made. All right, go ahead, Connor. Hit yourself with some football music and tell us your 3 observations from the rest of the NFL.
All right. Well, we haven't really dove deep into this guy. He's been mentioned, but can we just talk about Jonathan Taylor for a second? Because close enough. Welcome back, 2024 Saquon Barkley. He's doing the same thing, just with more touchdowns. It's unbelievable. 3 on the road in Berlin and an overtime winner. He's the best player on that team and maybe the best player in the NFL right now.
Yeah, and he is third. I messed up earlier. He is third in MVP odds right now. Drake May and Matthew Stafford both tied at plus 300. Jonathan Taylor at plus 500. But he is minus 350 for the AP NFL Offensive Player of the Year. He's going to run away with that award for sure.
He should run away with that.
He's been spectacular. We went through it like 2 weeks ago. Yardage-wise, he's not at Barkley's pace, but touchdowns, I mean, he's getting into the end zone all the time for him.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I personally think Drake May, by the way, should be the one who's at the top of the MVP.
Or Daniel Jones, because,
that
team... Think about the turnaround for that team.
It's been amazing.
But he's not. Daniel Jones is, where is he at? Not even close. He's at plus 6,000. He is
I think he's
13th.
done. Also, I don't think he has any shot.
Get my guy a towel for his mouth. For the love of God, Daniel Jones.
Man, that was amazing.
Oh, dude, the bleeding?
Yeah, he looked like he had lipstick on. You didn't see.
That
Look
was
up the
terrible.
picture.
Oh, yeah, it was crazy.
All right, it's interesting you guys just brought up Daniel Jones and Drake May and everything in that conversation, because my second observation, I'm smelling something. I'm smelling.
Is it your shirt?
No, it's not.
Could be.
The graphic from back in 2017, 2018 of the championship round of the postseason, where it's Tom Brady, Case Keenum, Nick Foles, and Blake Bortles on it.
Oh, wow.
And you know what I'm seeing? Drake May, Daniel Jones, Sam Darnold, Jalen Hurts. Is there a chance that we get one of those weird, like, how in the world are these the final 4 guys?
Yeah, and
Why not? Right?
It's been what I've been pushing, the narrative that I've been pushing, that there are a lot of bad quarterbacks out there that teams are paying a lot of money to, right? Like Brock Purdy, they're not playing him, by the way. Like Adam Schefter every week is saying, yeah, another week. Trevor Lawrence, like these guys that are getting paid Tua Tagovailoa, all this money, and you're seeing guys that are either like that veteran deal, like what Sam Darnold is getting for the Seattle Seahawks, or it's guys on their rookie contracts still, which that's very important in the NFL, or your name's Patrick Mahomes. Like, that's what it is.
Yeah, I feel
It's unbelievable, though, Connor.
Quarterback play's
crazy.
been bad in the NFL, and it has been for a couple of years.
What a weird graphic, and I didn't even think about that, how bad that was that year.
We're still a long way away from actually getting to that point where the Final Four are there, but hey, it's kind of tracking right now, and through mostly 10 weeks, that's something to keep an eye on. One other thing that we haven't mentioned, and you guys took a lot of, like, the game. We've been talking about games all day today.
We have been.
Paul Tagliabue passes away, former commissioner of the NFL. And I remember a little bit of his time, but of course I remember Goodell has been more the guy that I know. So what were the thoughts there, Johnny, on Tagliabue as a commissioner and just him passing?
I just know he made the draft,
He made the draft a big event.
Yeah.
With the big event. He also was part of the big moves to expanding prime time, which I thought was great. But Paul Tagliabue was a lot less invasive as a commissioner. He was a lot less the lapdog for the owners that we've seen now with Roger Goodell. And I think because of his tenure, they made sure that they got a guy to replace him that was more that they were able to manipulate.
Yeah, okay.
That Goodell, who Goodell, by the way, under Tagliabue. So he was a good commissioner.
Yeah, people will say the concussion thing, which of course is something worth bringing up.
Yeah. Sure.
Was part of that, but there's no commissioner that gets done with their time in one of the major North American sports where everyone's like, "Oh yeah, it was perfect, nothing went wrong, everything was great." Like so. I just wanted you to give a chance to talk to
brain injuries is a pretty big one, though.
No,
that is good.
That's pretty.
It's not a wipe it off thing. I'm just saying.
Next time Stink's on with us, next time Schlereth's on with us, I'll have him tell you himself. He did not get involved in the concussion lawsuit.
Because he felt.
Because he said,
he knew it.
I purposely knew what I was doing, and every guy that I played with in the NFL knew what they were doing too.
Yeah.
And he said, and I went back there when I got my bell rung and went out there and played. So there's different attitudes about that.
By the way, I just looked it up. Through 10 games, Jonathan Taylor this year compared to Saquon.
How far back is he?
He actually just passed him.
Did he really?
Saquon at this time last year through 10 games, 197 carries for 1,137 yards. Jonathan Taylor, 2 less carries, 189.
Wow.
He has a 1,139 yards. So 2 less carries, 2 more yards for Jonathan Taylor through 10 games.
And about 40 more touchdowns.
And, Saquon had 8 rushing touchdowns, 2 receiving touchdowns. This year, Jonathan Taylor has 15 rushing touchdowns and 2 receiving touchdowns.
Shut your mouth.
We're going to start talking about Jonathan Taylor trying to break a record soon, if this keeps up.
They may actually let him do it, too.
All right, coming up next, we'll check our text line. And, of course, we got to make predictions on tonight's game. Eagles, Packers. I feel good. Chester, Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic.
Hey, everybody, it's Bill Colarulo, and coming up.
One here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. On this football game day Monday morning here on 97.5 The Fanatic, presented to us by our friends at the local Bryant Home Comfort Team. Visit nopaybryant.com to keep your HVAC in the starting lineup. It's a big game for the Philadelphia Eagles. Coming off of the bye week, it's a big game for a lot of people that said, oh, it was just the Giants. Will it look better tonight against the Green Bay Packers? I think that it will be, which is why I have the Eagles outright tonight against the Packers. But I'm just a vibes guy, Johnny. What about a guy with all the information? What about a guy that gets details, that he speaks to people all across the country? Joining us now on the Comcast Business Hotline. Every day in business is a big day. Let Comcast Business help you move forward with what's next. Our man Michael Westwood from GBIWins.com, the owner of GBIWins.com, is here to talk about what he is calling, John, the Monday night game of the year, in which he, over the last 27 seasons, where he has labeled something the Monday night game of the year, he is 24-3. The number to call is 1-800-885-2525. That's 1-800-885-2525. He joins us now on the Comcast Business Hotline, Michael Westwood. Michael, good morning. Happy game day.
Andrew, Johnny, it is me, the legend, the man who's a Terminator, who beats the bookmakers on a consistent basis. And, guys, if you were with me again this past weekend, my $100 players made $500. My $500 players made $2,500 players, and my $2,500 players made $12,500. But enough of that nonsense, all right? Tonight, you guys are 100% correct. I've got my Monday night game of the year going off between the Eagles and the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau. Guys, it's going to be freezing cold there, but I've got the winner of this game tonight. And all you have to do right now is dial 1-800-885-2525. Again, that's 1-800-885-2525. You'll be connected to my free recorded hotline, and you're going to get the winner. It's my Monday night game of the year, and you guys are 100% right. We hit 24-3 with this information. It sounds crazy, doesn't it? Sounds like I'm making this up, but you guys know I'm not. It's free. It's on me, and it's on my free recorded hotline, 1-800-885-2525. Call me now.
Michael, when you look at a game like this, people just are going to talk about Lambeau Field. Does Monday night home field advantage truly matter as much as maybe it did sometime in the past?
You want to know something? I'm really crazed about what's been going on in the NBA, the NFL this year. If you look at games like yesterday, I mean, come on. New Orleans beat the Panthers. I mean, the Bills get smoked by the Dolphins. And I have to bring this up. Buy your tickets for the New York Jet playoffs because you saw what they did yesterday. It just makes no sense right now. So, guys, listen to me, and this is serious, okay? I'm talking to all your listeners right now. Throw up the white flag, okay? You guys know what the definition of insanity is. It's doing the same thing over and over again with the negative results. Let me do what I do best. You've been trying this for 10 weeks and losing, okay? Let me show you what winning is all about. Let the professionals make you money. It's not going to cost you a penny to listen tonight or a penny to play the game because the bottom line is I am going to win. It's my Monday night game of the year. Tonight is incredible, and I'm putting a guarantee. If I lose this game tonight, which I won't, I will give you the month for free on me. Again,
how about that?
The month. Eagles, Green Bay. It's on my free recorded hotline, 1-800-885-2525. Again, 1-800-885-2525. Call the professionals now.
By the way, a month free right before the holidays. You're Santa Claus right now. Hopefully Hopefully you're not giving them away free because that would mean you would lose tonight, which we don't expect that to happen.
Not happening, bro. You got a better shot at getting hit by a freight train in your living room than me losing this game tonight, and I don't think you guys live by the train tracks. Reach out right now. You hear my phone ringing off the hook. Again, 1-800-885-2525. 888-728-25. Get my game of the year on my free recorded hotline.
42 years in the business, 24-3 in your last 27 years where you have labeled the Monday night game of the year.
There we go.
Michael, keep up the great work, man. We appreciate it as always. Thanks for coming on today because we want to have some more of the Monday night game.
Thanks, Mike.
So thanks for coming on today, man.
All right.
And we'll talk to you later this week.
Talk to you guys next week. See ya.
There he is, Michael Westwood on the Comcast Business Hotline. I do live near the train tracks, though.
You do?
Yeah. I do live near train tracks.
Just get off the tracks when the train's coming through.
Yeah.
Isn't that what they
Now,
say?
it's weird. Is the train that used to run in the 1800s through Westchester comes right through our backyard.
Is that right?
Because we found when they were digging the foundation and everything, we found all the old tracks. My neighbors have the actual track
no way.
in their backyard.
Is that the one that went to the Franklin Institute?
I don't know if it did or not.
I
don't
read
think
about
so.
that. So we took Coop to the Franklin Institute a couple months ago, and the train that's in there that used to move back and forth.
Which used to move.
They stopped doing it.
Why did they do that?
I don't know why. My wife and I got into an argument.
Did
at
they
the
blame it on
Franklin
COVID?
Institute. I don't.
Because I know
When
during
in doubt,
COVID they
sure.
kept away a lot of stuff.
I didn't realize that train, they literally cut the train tracks. They drove it into the Franklin Institute.
Cut the train tracks.
They made the wall so that the train could go through, and then they bricked up the wall, sealed it. Train tracks are gone, and that train went around the country or something like that.
Wait a minute. Did your wife argue with that on you? Isn't that on the wall?
No,
she told you.
No. She argued me that it used to run in the Franklin Institute.
Oh, okay.
It used to go back and forth in the Franklin Institute.
No, it used to move.
But they stopped doing it.
Wow.
Which is devastating.
I remember the Heart.
Darn.
Think of that Heart.
Oh, Heart's still going, yeah.
Yeah, but that Heart was going when I was on little kid school trips.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy.
That Heart's...
The Heart's still beating.
That's a good ticker.
I read... I'm reading Angelo's book. I did not realize
Right?
he got married at the Heart.
He did. He got married right at the Heart.
Great place to get married.
All right, Bill Nye, the science guy.
That's unbelievable.
What do you say we say who's winning tonight?
Angelo.
well,
Look
you
at
already
this
know-
Heart. It's beautiful.
You already know who's winning. The
right, tell me
the
a little
Philadelphia
how.
Eagles are winning this football game.
Okay.
I feel very chesty about it. I think like a 27-20 win for the Philadelphia Eagles. Maybe the Packers get a late field goal to make it a one-score game to try to get an onside kick or something. I just don't see Jordan Love going downfield against the Eagles defense without Tucker Kraft. Josh Jacobs, I think, is a very tremendous running back. I respect him a lot. We had a texter earlier saying he's okay, or was that you, Kyle? I forget. Somebody said he's okay. I think he's really good. But I'm not afraid of everybody else.
Okay.
And I would imagine Vic Fangio isn't necessarily afraid of everybody else. And I just think following the bye, Nick Sirianni, the undefeated record speaks for itself. And I think you're getting healthier. Obviously, Cam Jurgens not playing today, but Brett Toth has now had the opportunity to play. And it forced them to go under center. And maybe that's what this offense needed. So coming off of the bye, the Packers aren't a team that strike fear for me. I feel good about this Eagles game, 27-20 Birds.
Okay. I'm going to tell you I felt bad about this game from the summer. I have an uneasy feeling about it all week long, and I don't really know why. So I don't want to cop out at the last minute. I feel like it's going to be a great theater game and that we're going to come away disappointed at the last minute. I'll go 27-24 Packers.
27-24 Pack.
And if they get 27 points, that's bad. But I'm just telling you, I've been uneasy. I don't want to now at the last minute do the sports radio host thing and go, I've told you all year that, like last year what happened with the Packers-Eagles game when I told you all along. And and then at the last minute everybody changes on Friday.
Summer's different.
I'm not going to be that host. I'll be genuine.
I have more information now.
Yeah.
What do you got, Connor?
I've got the same margin of victory as you do, but I do not have the same higher scoring game as you do. I've got the Eagles winning this game 25-18 over the Packers.
Ew,
That's an interesting
trying
number.
To scoregami here or something?
That's an interesting number, Connor.
Hey, don't come after my number, all right?
No, I
got
like
them
it.
winning 25. No, you're good, John. It's me and Salciunas that have the beef on this one. He always looks at my numbers weird. But I think this is going to be a really physical game. Two teams that know what's at stake, and I think the Eagles are going to be the more physical, especially coming off the bye week.
I don't think that's a problem.
It would be a scoregami, by the way.
Hell yeah.
There has never been
25-18 has never been a game?
been a 25-18 final, according to the footballdatabase.com.
Until tonight.
Wow, that'd be wild. Look, I don't want it to happen, and I tend to always. I feel pretty good about this team. I picked them a lot, but just this game has been tearing at me. And if I didn't do it, if I didn't say how I've been feeling, I'd feel like I was copping out.
Oh, according to
We'll see
Scoregami as well, 25-18 has never happened.
Book it.
So you could, if your prediction is
Connor,
correct,
you
would be predicting a Scoregami.
Connor, that would be the greatest prediction of all time of a score.
This is what we do it for, boys.
By
Just
the way,
the chance.
Kirk Herbstreit had it the other day. His pick, he picked 2 of the games on the panel on game day. He picked 2 of the games' final scores exactly right.
Well, he needed to bounce back after he ripped Carson Wentz for being sad that his arm was collapsing.
That's a whole nother thing altogether.
There was something else earlier this year,
sometimes
too.
you're spread a little thin, and I think Kirk is spread a little thin right now. I think that's part of it.
Yeah, with the Amazon?
Too many gigs.
I'm sure the check's clear.
Yeah, exactly.
All right,
At least he doesn't yell.
Tell us about life-saving cancer research.
Yeah, H&H Heating and Air Conditioning, they're great. They made a donation to the American Association for Cancer Research, and you can too. Go to 975thefanatic.com/AACR because I'm living proof 3 times over. Cancer research saves lives.
By the way, who's scoring a tutty tonight?
Dallas Goedert.
I can see that too.
Dallas Goedert.
I can see that too.
Feel good about it.
And also a tush-push Jalen Hurts touchdown.
Dallas
Damn right.
They have to get a tush-push touchdown tonight. And I don't know how they celebrate it, but they got to do something.
You think that would be?
Jalen won't do it, but the rest of the team.
Jalen won't, but I would love as petty as possible tonight.
Middays with Marks comes right next. Everybody have a great rest of your day. Enjoy the game tonight, and we'll talk to you tomorrow here in the Fanatic.
Now on 97.